Chapter 1. Haipu City. First Middle School. The new graduates are looking forward to the huge white monument in the center of the playground. They were excited and nervous. Under the command of the teacher of number 1 middle school, the graduates lined up in 10 long lines and walked under the stone tablet in an orderly manner. Every graduate who walked under the stele was grabbed by the finger by the teacher. The teacher pricked the student's finger with a needle and dripped blood onto the stele. As soon as the blood touched the stele, professional symbols were outlined on the stele. Gao Liang, occupation. Doctor. Duan Mubo, profession, mage. Zhou Yu, occupation. Array master. Whenever the occupation symbol appeared on the stele, the school teacher next to the stone tablet read out the occupations that the students had tested. Next to the reading teacher, there is also a deputy. The deputy wrote the information read by the teacher into the student file. After the graduates tested their careers, the reactions were varied. Some are excited, some are sad, some are confused. There are even students who can't accept the profession they awakened, so they become emotional and faint. Sure enough, my dad is a blacksmith, and I have a high probability of being a blacksmith too. Now I suddenly have an urge to strike iron. The skills I awakened are the blacksmith's exclusive cloak hammer technique and elementary armor specialization. Shi Hao, who had just changed his job to become a blacksmith, clenched his fists tightly, feeling the continuous new energy in the body. He originally hated blacksmithing, but at the moment of awakening the blacksmith, he felt that he was born to forge iron. In the lower right corner of his line of sight, there appeared a character panel that only he could see. 200 years ago, monuments of professional gods suddenly appeared all over the world. All human beings who have reached the age of 18 can awaken their professions by dripping their blood on the professional steles. A person who awakens a fighting profession can gain experience and upgrade by killing monsters. People who awaken life occupations can improve their proficiency level by making occupational items. Today, the students of Haipu No. 1 Middle School, under the guidance of their teachers, are gradually awakening their own unique professions. After awakening warriors, their skin is rough. I'm a girl, I don't want to become King Kong Barbie. Woo woo woo. A tall and beautiful woman was crying out of breath in front of the career god monument. The school belle of this year's Haipu No. 1 Middle School has awakened to be a warrior. This is just a joke, okay? Since she was a child, her neighbors have said that she is as beautiful as a female mage. She has always thought so. But today, her dream is shattered. Well, Zhang Shuer, don't be too sad, there is nothing wrong with awakening as a warrior. The most important thing for a girl is to be independent. Warriors are strong and resistant to fighting, and they have strong ability to survive in the wild. In the future, with your own abilities, you don't need to rely on men to hold up half the sky. In front of Zhang Shuer, Shi Hao, who awakened one step earlier than her, comforted him. You. Zhang Shuer raised her phoenix eyebrows, looked angrily at Shi Hao in front of her, and was too angry to speak. Have you ever spoken like that? Do you understand girls? Shi Hao, a straight man, lost his mind after awakening as a blacksmith. For a girl, even if she doesn't awaken to a profession like a mage or doctor, it's good to awaken a tailor. After awakening as a warrior, can he still find a partner? Who can stand their own pinch? Zhang Shuer, whose heart is broken, has already thought of her future title, Widowmaker. Xinghe, occupation. Mage. Just when Shi Hao and Zhang Shuer were arguing, reading the teacher's voice attracted the attention of the two. Zhang Shuer. Look. Xinghe is the one who should awaken as a warrior. Unexpectedly, he awakened and became a mage. When Shi Hao heard Xinghe's name, he immediately turned his head to look. I didn't forget to remind Zhang Shuer to watch it with him. Zhang Shuer turned her head and saw a gentle and handsome young man with bright eyes and white teeth standing under the professional god tablet. The only pity is that the boy is thin and weak, even weaker than the girl looks. Xinghe looked at the mage symbol on the professional god tablet, dazed. Pity. He should be awakened as a warrior, so that he can become stronger. Shi Hao looked at Xinghe, and said with some regret. In his opinion, although a mage is good, it is not suitable for Xinghe. Xinghe is born thin and weak, if he awakens a warrior, his physique can be changed. Although the mage has a large attack range and high attack output. But with Xinghe's physique, I don't know if he can control this profession. Yet, I didn't expect him to share the same illness as me, and both awakened to careers that are not suitable for me. Zhang Shuer sighed. The mage has mastered various elements in the world, and they are extremely cool when casting spells. You can also control the elements and maintain your skin at ordinary times. Moreover, when casting spells, it is a long-range attack, and there is no need to approach those disgusting monsters. When upgrading in the wild, you can always attract a large number of licking dogs. Moreover, the social status of a mage is far above that of other professionals. Mage. It was Zhang Shue's dream job. It would be great if the awakening professions could be interchanged. Zhang Shui looked at Xinghe's figure with envy on her face. How she wished that God would give her another chance to wake up. You're not bad either. From now on, you'll be a flower among warriors, so don't envy him. Shi Hao noticed Zhang Shui's depressed mood, and comforted him again. His favorite thing to do is to comfort the sad. Whenever he comforts people, he can always feel the spiritual purification. For Xinghe's ability to become a mage, he was not as envious as others. He is a good friend of Xinghe. No one can understand better than him what Xinghe needs most. Congratulations, Xinghe. After becoming a mage, you will have a brighter future. After entering the mage university, you have to practice hard. After the awakening career was over, Xinghe returned to the team of the class. The teacher in charge smiled and told him softly. Remember, teacher. Xinghe nodded solemnly, expressing that he remembered what he said. Xinghe, who walked back to his original position slowly, did not discuss future development with people he knew well like everyone else did. He stood there silently thinking. Shi Hao's guess was right, what Xinghe expected most was to awaken as a warrior and improve his thin physique. It's a pity that this guy fails to fulfill people's wishes. Having lived in this world for many years, he clearly knows that awakening his profession is an opportunity to change his life against the sky. Although a mage is good and has a bright future, he may not be suitable for him. With my own physique, I can't control the mage profession at all. With a heavy heart, Xinghe subconsciously looked at the character attribute panel. Xinghe occupation, blood mage level, leave 0 life, 300 to 300 mana, 100 to 100 strength, 5 dexterity, 5 intelligence, 5. After looking at the attribute panel, his eyes fell on the skill icon. Blood drain, active skill, basic blood magic, can easily draw life from blood. Blood oath, passive skill, as the only blood mage in the world, you have unparalleled control over blood. You who bear the oath of blood, the target you have marked, the life of the target will flow to you. You who bear the oath of blood, all your magic power will be converted into life, and any spell you cast will consume life. You, who bear the oath of blood, have an incomparable thirst for blood, and any creature higher than your level will tempt you. You who bear the oath of blood, as long as you have a drop of blood, you can be reborn after death. This profession. Chapter 2. Xinghe looked at the information on the properties panel, and was stunned for a moment. Blood mage? How come I've never heard of it? The magical elements in this world include gold, wood, water, fire, earth, light, darkness, and thunder. After awakening to become a mage, the only elements that can be mastered are these 8 elements. Never an accident. What is the profession of this blood mage? And with the word magic in the profession, it doesn't look like a decent profession, it looks a bit evil. Xinghe once again focused on the 2 skills on the panel. Blood draw, blood oath. He had never seen these skills in books. In the vocational skills certification of high school courses, he got full marks every time. So, he sure is. The 2 skills I got have never appeared on Blue Star. And the long skill introduction made Xinghe even more dizzy. After carefully reading it several times, he already had a general understanding of his blood magic. The profound meaning of blood demon magic is the conversion between blood and life. The blood magic profession awakened today is the weirdest thing I have encountered since my rebirth 18 years ago. Let's go, Xinghe. Go to the training ground and I'll make you a magic robe. Shi Hao came over and warmly invited Xinghe to train together. For them, professionals who have just awakened, the best choice for the first time is to improve your skill proficiency. Only by familiarizing yourself with your skills as soon as possible can you go to the wild to kill monsters and upgrade. Mice, I won't go. I'm not feeling well today, so I'll go home and rest first. A smile appeared on Xinghe's pale face. He didn't want his blood magic to make blood all over the school training ground. At that time, I will definitely be on the hot search. Shocked. A certain 18-year-old man actually came to see my aunt. Seeing Xinghe's weak appearance, Shi Hao felt sympathy in his heart. Okay, then you go back slowly by yourself. Well, then I'll go back first. Xinghe waved goodbye to Shi Hao. Just as he turned to leave, I heard Shi Hao's loud voice coming from behind, remember. Drink more hot water. Xinghe froze when he heard this, and then quickened his pace of leaving. People's Park. After the game came to the world, the original People's Park became a monster paradise. Anyone who enters the People's Park will have a greater chance of being dragged to the monster's lair by the space crack during the exploration process. Only by killing the monsters in the lair can you return to the present world. The government will regularly clean up the monsters in the People's Park. All creatures that pose a threat to ordinary citizens will be cleaned up by the government immediately. The monsters left here are all very weak. It is specially for Xinghe's gang, who have just graduated, to practice and upgrade. On the way to People's Park, Xinghe met many peers. Like him, with the same idea, they rushed to People's Park to practice. Among the newly graduated students, there are many geniuses. Before they awakened, they had already laid a solid foundation. Therefore, as long as they wake up, they will have good combat power. You don't need to go to the training ground to familiarize yourself with the skills like other ordinary people. Xinghe walked to the entrance of the People's Park. He stopped and looked up. On the wooden arched gate, there is a striking 18 prohibition sign hanging high. The sign is round, with the crossed Arabic numeral 18 painted on it. There is also a warning sign below the sign. No entry under the age of 18. Xinghe glanced at the warning sign and stepped into the People's Park without hesitation. As soon as he entered the People's Park, the world in front of him changed. The inner world of People's Park is different from the normal world outside. In its world, everything is black and white. Xinghe looked around. A decision was made in my heart, go to the dense forest. Then, he walked towards the winding path that was sparsely populated. Xinghe dared to go deep into the dense forest alone, not without his own considerations. What he relies on is the skill of awakening. Blood oath. You who bear the oath of blood, as long as you have a drop of blood, you can be reborn after death. Before entering the People's Park, Xinghe squeezed out a drop of his own blood and put it in a bottle. Put the bottle containing the blood in the safe area of the People's Park. Ever since he came to this world, he has heard a word. Any information in the world may be false, only your attribute panel will not deceive you. Because of his frailty, he was abandoned by his parents to an orphanage just after he was born. Therefore, he is different from ordinary people, he does not have his parents as his strong backing. All he can rely on is himself. The so-called seeking wealth in insurance. Xinghe has been walking along the winding path for 15 minutes. What puzzled him was why he hadn't encountered a space crack that dragged him into the monster's lair. After thinking about it for a moment, the only thing he could think of might be the reason for his profession. Thinking of this, he calmed down and closed his eyes. According to the knowledge taught by the teacher in the school, carefully comprehend the ability of his blood mage. Soon, he smelled a sweet smell. He straightened his nose and sniffed. He was very sure that it was the real taste. It's not that I have hallucinations. That taste, like the ice cream he'd been craving since he was a kid. Xinghe opened his eyes suddenly. In his line of sight, many light red ribbons suddenly appeared. The light red ribbon grew out of the void, floating in the air like water plants. Ding! You have learned a new skill, blood hunting passive effect. Blood mage is extremely thirsty for blood, he can smell the blood of all targets within a range of 500 kilometers. You blood hunter, in front of any target, will actively hide your breath. The more beneficial the target is to blood mage, the sweeter the blood. When casting a spell, the release speed will be increased, and the maximum effect can be cast instantly. When moving, it will provide a bonus to the movement speed, and the maximum effect can be teleport. It turned out to be a self-awareness skill. Xinghe was overjoyed. There are two types of skill paths for professionals. The first is to buy skill books in the mall. The second type, I don't know when I'm lucky, and I realize my unique skills in a flash of inspiration. Therefore, apart from equipment, the biggest difference between professionals with the same occupation is the number of skills they have mastered. He didn't expect that he was so lucky that he realized a skill just after awakening. Xinghe scanned the skill introduction of blood hunting and knew the usefulness of this skill. One is to hide the breath. The second is to hunt down the target. No wonder I can't be dragged into the lair by monsters. Then the one with the red ribbon is. Thinking of this, Xinghe stretched out his fingers to touch the root of the red ribbon. When the finger and the root of the ribbon touched together, Xinghe's eyes darkened, and he came to an unfamiliar environment. The corner of his mouth curled up into a smile, finally came in. The Monster's Lair. Chapter 3. People's Park Monster Lair. Xinghe had just been dragged into the monster's lair when he was discovered by 5 grey-skinned long-eared goblins. Leave 5 goblin soldier, leave 10 captain goblin, 4 goblin soldiers under the command of the captain. With red eyes, he raised the stone spear in his hand, howled and rushed towards Xinghe. Xinghe's face was a little moved. Why is there a monster that surpasses level 5? The monsters cleaned up by the government are all monsters above level 5. Monsters above level 5 are life-threatening for fresh graduates. He raised his arm and used it instinctively, the skills on the panel. Draining of blood, boom. The blood glow suddenly appeared. The entire monster lair turned into a blood-red world. The 5 goblins who were rushing towards Xinghe seemed to have been pressed the pause button. The 5 monsters were only less than 1 meter away from Xinghe, and it was difficult to get any closer. A large amount of blood gushed out from the monster's 7 orifices. It turned into rivers of blood and merged into Xinghe's back. Xinghe's face was flushed, and his expression was extremely happy. It's so cool, it's so cool. He couldn't help but let out a low growl in comfort. I don't know how long it has passed. Xinghe came back to his senses from the state of exhilaration. He slowly opened his eyes and looked at the 5 mummified corpses on the ground with a smile on his lips. It turns out that killing is so refreshing. Hypo City. After Xinghe left, the awakening ceremony of Hypo No. 1 Middle School was still going on. Bayou, profession, discipline priest. What? What kind of occupation is this? Why haven't you learned it? You old pervert. You can only brush girls every day. It's strange to know this profession. If you really know, tell me. Hey, I really do know. Punishment priest, a special title unique to priests. All priests who can obtain this title are the Lord of Light and the most devout believers. In addition to being naturally compatible with light elements, this profession is also compatible with thunder elements. This profession is born to be a crime buster. Damn, so powerful. Bayou looks dazed, he didn't expect to hide so deeply. In the future, Bayou will definitely become a high-ranking member of the Light God sect. This is simply rich and handsome. A more promising profession than a mage. Hey, you will die if you compare people with others, and you will throw away goods if you compare goods. Everyone in Hypo No. 1 Middle School who had not yet awakened to their profession looked at Bayou with envy. Many people are envious, the back molars are crushed. This white jade is usually well behaved, you can't see the depth, but I didn't expect it to become a blockbuster. The teacher who has witnessed countless genius awakening ceremonies is also deeply moved. It has been many years since I have seen a profession with its own title just after awakening. It is because the title occupation is so rare that even the knowledgeable teachers can't remember it for a while. For a small city like Hypo City, awakening a title profession is indeed very rare. Hey? Look at your life value. In the crowd, someone suddenly exclaimed. All the people present subconsciously looked at their attribute panels. How is this going? We didn't fight, why is the life value automatically decreasing? Oh my god! Could it be that a plague is about to break out in Hypo City? The life value decreases slowly, but it is indeed decreasing. Xinghe, who is far away in People's Park, still doesn't know the consequences of his skills. When he uses the skill Blood Hunting, all targets within the range will lose HP. It is precisely because people don't know the reason for the loss of life. So everyone is terrified of this unknown. Is it plague magic? Quick! Suspend the awakening ceremony. Everyone hide in the shelter barrier together. The teacher of No. 1 Middle School quickly activated the school's emergency plan. Such a large-scale weird magic. Can't see. Can't touch it. It must be plague magic. One by one, the teachers tightly covered their mouths and noses, directing the panicked students to enter the school's shelter barrier in an orderly manner. At the same time, Hypo City Guangming God Sect, a middle-aged man in white clothes, with a serious expression, this kind of evil spirit is born to be the enemy of the Lord. The direction where his eyes fell was the People's Park where Xinghe was. Just as he was thinking, a priest hurriedly ran up to him. The priest looked flustered. Bishop, we have already contacted the city government, but we don't know where it is. The heart of the middle-aged bishop sank. Even the city government didn't know the origin of the bishop. It shows that the evil thing is not at a level that they can touch. According to this rate of life decay, the entire Hypo city would be turned into a dead city in less than a day. However, there should be a big boss to deal with such an evil thing. We just need to wait quietly. Realizing the urgency of the situation, the bishop gradually had cold sweat on his forehead. Press down the panic in your heart and allow yourself to think calmly. As the analysis became more and more clear, the bishop also reacted. If that evil thing really wants the lives of everyone in Hypo City, why would it use such a method? The attenuation of health can be compensated by potions. If people were taking medicine all the time, the decay of health at this rate would really not be able to cause fatal damage to people. People who have enough medicine reserves can even spend a lifetime. Maybe that evil thing is just warning us, Hypo City, murmured the bishop. The priest beside him also thought that the bishop's analysis made sense. Bishop, do you think this evil thing is not aimed at us at all? We are just being affected. Maybe after a while, this state will disappear. Hope it's what you said. I just hope that this evil thing can leave as soon as possible, our Hypo City. Our small city is not enough to blow it in one go. The bishop shook his head and sighed. After the analysis by the bishop and the priest, there is no other way for the time being. The two walked to the statue of light in the temple and began to read the Bible together. Pray for the people of Hypo City. People's Park. Xinghe's whole body was wrapped in blood mist, and the blood mist was churning. Xinghe's face was pale in the blood mist. This blood hunt consumes too much HP. Fortunately, I was able to pass, constantly hunting monsters, replenishing my life. Otherwise, I might be sucked and fed by him. Xinghe's mood is very complicated. His awakened profession, Blood Mage, is indeed very powerful. In order to confirm what I think in my heart, he purposely found a secluded place to try his awakening career. Sure enough, it was the same as he thought. Blood Mage's skills are really terrifying and bloody. And the thrill of hunting monsters. There is a feeling that he is addicted. Chapter 4. Just now, when Xinghe used blood hunting, the entire Hypo City, all creatures with life value appear in his eyes clearly. To his surprise, from Bloody Ribbon, he could actually feel the panic of everyone. Could it be, after I left, what happened in the city? At this moment, Xinghe was at a loss. Speaking of blood hunt, the consumption is a bit high, I have to hurry up and level up. In Xinghe's state of blood hunting, he had to keep killing. Otherwise, with his weak body, he couldn't bear the consumption at all. I'm a little anemic. Xinghe complained. He didn't hesitate much, and continued hunting for the next monster lair. Just like that, the experience bar on Xinghe's character panel quickly filled up. Congratulations on killing the goblin soldier and gaining 50 experience points. Congratulations on killing the goblin captain and gaining 200 experience points. Congratulations on killing the little grass demon and gaining 10 experience points. Congratulations on killing the butterfly banshee and gaining 100 experience points. Congratulations on killing the golden goblin and gaining 1 experience point. Congratulations, you have gained 1 experience point for killing the butterfly demon queen. Congratulations on killing the tree demon king and gaining 1 experience point. 2 hours later, all the monster lairs in the dense forest were wiped out by Xinghe. Even low-level monsters cannot continue to increase experience for him. He didn't stop killing because of this. He couldn't resist the refreshing feeling when he absorbed the blood. Ding! Your level has reached level 30. Your level does not meet this area, please leave as soon as possible. Xinghe, who had finished killing, exited the blood hunting state. Subconsciously opened his character panel. A large number of system messages filled Xinghe's eyes. Every time you level up, all the values on the character panel will increase by a fixed part. In addition, he can also get 10 extra values. Wait until the value no longer changes. Xinghe's eyes fell on his character panel. Xinghe occupation, Blood Mage level, leave 30 life, 5000 to 5000 mana, 3000 to 3000 strength, 40 agility, 45 intelligence, 30 available attributes, 300 title, 1000 people cut FK. This is level 30. Not even half a day. Xinghe was shocked. Because he was addicted to killing, he didn't even bother to check his mission information. Now, as soon as he opened his character panel, immediately frightened. Xinghe knew that he had killed many monsters, so he was prepared. But what he didn't expect was that he could rush to level 30 in one go. It is impossible for some graduates who have just changed jobs to fight monsters and upgrade tirelessly like him. They get tired and bored from the repetitive movements. It takes at least a year to practice to level 30. Those who can reach level 30 in a year are still the kind of hard-working leveling maniacs. And what about Xinghe? When fighting monsters, it's like doing big healthcare and killing chickens. It was so cool that he couldn't stop. He didn't stop until he slaughtered the monsters in the entire jungle. Because, there are no monsters to make him happy. When he comes back to his senses, suddenly found that he was already level 30. This made him unable to accept it for a while. The system announcement has informed me that I must leave here now. If I stay here again, I'm afraid I will attract the attention of others. Xinghe looked around, and there was silence all around. The tragedy he created here will definitely cause a sensation in the whole city. Therefore, he must leave here as soon as possible. But, I haven't played enough here. Xinghe is a little distressed, he hasn't had enough fun yet. He didn't expect that. One day, I will be annoyed because the level rises too fast. I'd better pick up the equipment first. Xinghe, who was about to leave, suddenly remembered. When I was just fighting monsters, it was too cool. He even forgot to pick up the equipment dropped by monsters. In this era of job change for all, the reality is the same as the game. After killing monsters, there will be a chance to burst out various equipment and treasures. Ever since Blue Star entered the job change era, some authoritative experts of the government once guessed. On people's attribute panel, there are some attributes that cannot be seen. Lucky attribute is one of them. Professionals with high luck value tend to have a higher burst rate than ordinary people. And the explosion rate of ordinary people is as touching as 100 million. It is common for ordinary people to struggle for a month without breaking a single item. And just now, when Xinghe was addicted to killing, he accidentally discovered that any monster that can explode equipment, their blood ribbons are different from ordinary monsters. There is a touch of gold in the blood. With a heartbeat, Xinghe pressed the pickup button on the character panel. According to the knowledge taught by the school teacher, the items dropped after killing monsters in the wild, as long as they belong to themselves within half an hour. The owner of the item can press the pickup button on the character panel, and the dropped items will gather in front of the owner. It's really a humane rule. A smile appeared on the corner of Xinghe's mouth. This pickup function saved him a lot of effort. He remembered that in the online game in his previous life, the automatic pickup function had to be recharged by the player. Xinghe looked at all kinds of dropped items in front of him. He glanced at it, and there were at least dozens of them. From this point of view, his lucky value is not low. After changing jobs, all job changers will have their own personal space. Xinghe is no exception. With a thought, he opened his portable space. Seeing his portable space, Xinghe froze in place. Generally, for newcomers who have just changed jobs, the space size is about 10 square meters. And his portable space has no space limit, it is infinite. But time was running out, and he didn't have time to think about it. With a wave of his hand, Xinghe put all the items in front of him into the portable space. Goblin's wooden prosthetic leg, level D, category, shoes level requirement, level 5 effect, agility plus 5 durability, 100/100 subsidiary effect, life increases extra life by 500 points. Goblin's wooden shield, level D, category, shield level requirement, level 10 effect, strength plus 5, dexterity plus 1 durability, 100/100 subsidiary effect, iron wall increases physical defense plus 25. Butterfly Empress mask, grade C, category, helmet level requirement, level 10 effect, intelligence plus 20 durability, 100/100 subsidiary effect, wisdom increases magic reserve plus 300. Put the dropped items in the carry space. Only Xinghe can see the true colors of these items. Every item exudes its own light. Based on what he learned in school, Xinghe is well aware of the value of these items. Blue Star uses currently known equipment, according to items purple, orange, blue, green, and white light. The item level is divided into 5 levels, S, A, B, C, and D. Chapter 5. Xinghe went through all the items. It was found that most of the items were D grade, and occasionally 1 or 2 were C grade. They are all equipment worn around level 10. These equipment are very good transitional equipment for novices. But for Xinghe at level 30, it wasn't even considered tasteless. Few buff attributes are dispensable to him. However, there are still 2 skill books in the dropped items, so it can't be regarded as a lack of harvest. The skill book is an important source for professionals to learn skills. In addition to the 2 random occupational skills when awakening occupations. If you want to acquire additional skills, you need skill books and epiphanies. As for epiphany, it mainly depends on fate. Therefore, there is a huge shortage of skills books in Blue Star. As Xinghe left the People's Park quickly, he sank his mind into the portable space. Sidekick professional requirements, warrior level requirement, leave 5 jump to high altitude, kick a thunderous blow, stun the target for 1 second. Water flow professional requirements, mage level requirement, leave 5 summon a stream of water, slow down the enemy's movement speed, and cause 30 points of damage per second for 3 seconds. 2 skill books, 1 for the warrior class and 1 for the mage class. After Xinghe was about to go back, he hung sidekick on the mall to sell for money. Control skills should be sold at a high price. This mage-like skill, I can learn it. Xinghe noticed that the learning button on the skill book water flow was lit. That means, he can learn this skill. However, he had never heard that non-water mages could learn water skills. With the mentality of trying, Xinghe pressed the learning button. Ding! You have learned the skill, water flow under the research of Blood Mage. Your skill water flow is automatically transformed into Blood River. Xinghe directly called the expert. Is it still possible to do this? His gaze fell on the newly learned skill icon. The skill bar and skill icons are blood red. In the past, he didn't like this color very much. But now, blood red is extremely cute and kind in his eyes. Blood River, active skill, Blood Mage summons a river of blood from the void, allowing the target to enjoy the sweet and greasy blood. If I learn the skills of other mages by myself, will they be automatically transformed like this? It's also too human. Because there is no extra mage skill book on hand, his guesses can only be verified in the future. The system descriptions of my skills are ambiguous. If I don't release the skill once, I really don't know how powerful the skill is. Moreover, he also found out during the battle. His skill icon is always on and never goes dark. This means that as long as he has enough blood, he can cast spells without interruption. My current health is 5000. After the health is consumed, mana will be automatically converted to health. The only thing that can limit me is the total amount of life. Then, I just need to accumulate life and magic power. And focus on accumulating life points. After the life points increase, I won't look as empty as I am now. Xinghe is still a mage in essence. If his profession is a warrior, his current health value is at least 10,000. If it weren't for the passive blood oath, it could convert magic power into health. Otherwise, with his 5000 HP, he might be sucked dry after only casting a few blood spells. That said, right now he's an unsustainable man. If it is really a war of attrition, the speed of blood sucking cannot keep up with the speed of consumption. In the end, it must be himself who is defeated to meet God. Although, in his opinion, the chances of encountering an opponent who can be evenly matched with him are pitifully small. But if he is really unlucky, he will not be allowed to regret it when he is about to die. So in order to solve this problem, Xinghe allocated all 300 attributes to strength without hesitation. The reason why he chose this way as a mage is because the attributes of professionals are added, the focus is different, and the effect is also different. Strength attributes increase blood limit, blood recovery speed, physical attack, agility attribute plus attack speed, dodge, movement speed, intelligence plus magic cap, magic recovery speed, skill attack. Although Xinghe is a mage, he does not rely on mana. Only by adding some strength attributes can he bring him the greatest benefits. Then, he picked some at random, and put on the equipment that increased the life value. After doing all this, Xinghe only felt that he was full of vitality now, and that he could have impressive power with a single punch. Go back to the city first, go to the professional guild, and see if there is a reward task that suits you. What he desires most now is the pleasure brought by killing. And the professionals guild in the city just happened to be able to satisfy his wish. Looking at the silent forest, Xinghe couldn't help but sigh with emotion. For a period of time, professionals who have just graduated may not be able to upgrade. Because all the monsters in this area have been cleaned up by him. When Xinghe took the bus and returned to the city, the sun was almost setting. Who would have thought that he was a rookie professional who had just graduated? After only half a day, he became a level 30 boss. He looked up at his watch and found that it was still early. So, I decided to go to the professional guild. The professional guild is very easy to find, it is in the very center of Hypo City. This is the oldest building in Hypo City. With the professional guild, there will be today's Hypo City. It is the source of the city. When I came to the entrance of the stone palace of the professionals guild, I found that it was closing the door tightly. What's the matter, why did you get off work so early? Xinghe was a little puzzled. The professionals guild is the most important place in Hypo City. Many professionals rely on receiving tasks here to maintain their daily lives. Moreover, there are a fixed number of tasks released here every day. In the case of too many monks and too few porridge, whoever completes the task first will get the task reward. Therefore, the professional guild is full of voices every day. When it's busy, it's also brightly lit. The professional guild even has a Baya class to receive professionals 24 hours a day. It stands to reason that now is the graduation season, and it should be the busiest time for the professional guild, so it shouldn't be closed. Xinghe stood in front of the stone hall, rubbing his chin in puzzlement. After he tried knocking on the door of the stone hall a few times, there was still no answer. It seems that he is really off work. Xinghe sighed. After thinking for a while, he decided to change his target and go to Yida Center. Yida Center is the largest commercial center built by Yida Group in Hypo City. There can meet the trading needs of any professional. Chapter 6. Yida Trading Center. Xinghe consigned unwanted items, as well as a warrior skill book, to the trading center. It took no more than half an hour before and after. There were 5 million federal coins in his account. Fedcoin is now the only universal currency in the world. Issued by United World Bank. Currencies issued by various countries will be abolished after all people change their jobs and will no longer be in circulation. Xinghe looked at the balance on his account with a smile on his lips. He didn't expect that the first pot of gold in his life would be so rich. For Xinghe, who suddenly has a huge sum of money, he doesn't have to worry about being targeted. The reason why Yida Trading Center is so famous in Yan country. It is because of its high reputation that it keeps the privacy information of customers confidential. Any transaction made in the trading center will be protected by the trading center. Even if an accident occurs, the customer's loss will be compensated 3 times. Xinghe was also lucky, when the consignment sale coincided with the peak graduation season. The prices of consignment items are all sold at 20% higher prices than usual. Xinghe, who owns 5 million federal coins, has already escaped poverty at this time. No longer the orphan who had nothing. Unfortunately, although I made a lot of money. But in this peak graduation season, skill books are in high demand. I just posted the product, and it was already taken away. There is no way to get the Mage's skill book. Oh, let's wait a few more days. Xinghe was a little frustrated, he didn't receive the task, and he didn't get the skill book. Some of his next plans may be affected. The time needs to be postponed for a few days. There is no other way, he can only go back to the school dormitory to rest. After graduation, most of the students went back home. Xinghe was the only one left in the dormitory, so he was left alone. The next day, because he didn't need to go to school anymore, he slept until 12 o'clock at noon. After simply going to the cafeteria to eat something, Xinghe rushed to the professional guild again. Just entering the professional hall, Xinghe heard a familiar voice. Leave. Hearing this familiar address, Xinghe already guessed who it was. He turned and looked. A tall and sunny boy was running towards him. On the back is also carrying an eye-catching sledgehammer. Xihao. Why are you here? This young man with a hammer is none other than Xinghe's few friends, Xihao. Isn't this a job change? I entrusted the relationship at home, and found me an apprentice job here. Xihao explained. That's not bad, get a job right after graduation. Xinghe was also very happy for him. Generally, graduates who have just changed their jobs to become blacksmiths will go to Futukang first after graduation. On the Futukang assembly line, free work is enough for 1 year. Only after accumulating experience to become a junior blacksmith can you come out to find a job. No, it's only 2,000 federal currency a month, and the salary is a bit low. Xihao said he was dissatisfied, but Xinghe saw the slight look on his face. It's not bad. Generally, students who have just graduated have a monthly salary of 1,000. Xinghe noticed his little thoughts and flattered him a few words. There was also a look of envy on his face. It is really rare for someone like Xinghe to be an apprentice with a monthly salary of 2,000 after graduation. Xinghe, what are you doing here today? Xinghe looked curious. I'm here to see what is suitable for my task. Xinghe replied. Xinghe looked at him with some surprise. Don't all the fighting professions that have just graduated go to the People's Park? Xinghe didn't know how to answer him, so he could only vaguely say, I've been there for a while. Xinghe carefully looked at his whole body, and frowned after reading it. Mouse, have you increased your strength? He keenly noticed Xinghe's figure. Compared with the thin and thin before, it is slightly taller. And Xinghe is a mage. The only thing he could guess was that Xinghe added points to the strength attribute. Xinghe nodded without denying it. He didn't want to explain that the reason for Blood Mage was to increase his strength. At this time, if he exposes his profession, it may cause unnecessary trouble. So, he thought in the future, when the time is right. Then tell Xinghe, his real occupation. After Xinghe received an affirmative answer, he said with some concern, Mouse, you are inherently deficient, so it is right to increase your strength. But you must not add too much, otherwise it will have a great impact on your mage profession. Xinghe nodded solemnly, accepting Xinghe's kind reminder. He was very moved by Xinghe's concern. Xinghe approached Xinghe, and patted him on the shoulder. Xinghe, let's work hard together. I'll get busy first. I will, after that the equipment depends on you. Xinghe laughed. No problem. Xinghe responded boldly without any hesitation. Xinghe said goodbye to Xinghe. He wandered around in the professional guild, and he had never been here before becoming a professional. Although the professional guild covers an area of more than 50,000 square meters, it is still very crowded. Moreover, the hall of the professional guild is more than 15 meters high. But there is no pillar to support it. In Xinghe's view, this completely violates the principles of architecture. Xinghe walked towards the professional guild, the deepest part of the main hall. Go to the deepest part of the hall. There are dozens of windows, all of which are service personnel of the professionals guild. Service personnel are in charge of handling various problems for professionals. Moreover, because the level of service providers is different, service providers are divided into free and paid solutions. Xinghe looked at the long line of free windows, and he walked towards the paid window without hesitation. After he walked into the window, he realized that the server behind the window was a charming lady. The lady's golden big wavy curly hair is naturally scattered to the shoulders. Flaming red lips and gold-rimmed glasses made her even more charming. Hello, are you sure you want to pay for the consultation? The lady raised her head, her eyes sleepy. Because no one came for a long time, she was a little bored and fell asleep waiting. Confirm. I want a copy of the locations of monster lairs in Hypo City above level 30. And, the level of danger needs to be marked. Xinghe's tone is gentle, making people sound comfortable. Oh. When the noble lady saw that the person who came was a handsome young man, her eyes lit up and she immediately regained her spirits. Those who can come to pay for consultation are rich people. This is the map you need, worth 10,000 federal coins. And, if you pay an extra 20,000 federal coins, I can give you a secret location that I know. Definitely great value for money. She smiled at the corner of her mouth and looked at Xinghe mysteriously. Seeing her seductive appearance, Xinghe immediately became interested in the secret realm she was talking about. Chapter 7. What about the requirements for entering this secret realm? Xinghe asked. The so-called secret realm, according to his understanding, is a copy of the game in the previous life. It is different from ordinary leveling locations. The monsters in the secret realm have 2 to 3 times the combat power of ordinary monsters. Therefore, if professionals want to explore in the secret realm, they need to form a team of at least 3 people. At least level 30 and above, and those below this level will be in fatal danger. As for other more detailed information, you'd better ask your adults to come. The lady smiled lightly. In her opinion, this young man who just graduated came to consult her on behalf of his parents. Xinghe was dumbfounded, he didn't expect this woman to underestimate him. The corner of his mouth chuckled, and the Leave 30 logo on the top of his head disappeared in a flash. He also didn't want to expose his strength easily. However, in order to obtain more accurate secret information, he had to do so. The lady saw Xinghe's level clearly, her brows and eyes were full of shock. Such a young level 30. Am I dreaming? The lady's heart trembled violently. She forcibly calmed down the ups and downs of her chest, and gave a slight salute. Sorry, I was rude, genius professional. This secret realm has not yet been explored due to the guild's lack of manpower. I just know that the minimum level restricted by the secret realm is level 30. As for whether the secret realm is 1-star or 5-star difficulty, it is still unknown. I hope you will do what you can. Knowing that Xinghe is a level 30 professional, the lady guessed that his background must be unusual. With her changed attitude, she patiently explained to Xinghe. Xinghe pondered for a moment, and said seriously, "Thank you for reminding me, I want this information." As he said that, his mind communicated with the character panel and sent a transaction request to the lady. Seeing how confident Xinghe was, the lady no longer hesitated and accepted his request. Ding! Deal completed. After the familiar system sound fell, the balance on Xinghe's account decreased by 30,000 federal coins. But in his portable space, there is an extra scroll of parchment. Seeing that the transaction was successful, Xinghe didn't stop any longer. After saying goodbye, he left in a hurry. Looking at Xinghe's back, the lady's eyes blurred, she raised her chin with her slender hands, and pondered carefully. Xinghe. Not long after graduation, you can reach level 30. I didn't expect Hypo City to have such a powerful family. I don't know which family he is from. After Xinghe left for a long time, she was still shocked in her heart. Although she is just bored today, she came to the window to hang a job. But what she didn't expect was that she could encounter such an incredible thing. She really couldn't figure it out, in a small place like Hypo City. Is there any powerful family that can mobilize huge resources in a short period of time? Let a boy who has just turned 18 go straight to level 30. In her opinion, this is simply a fantasy. After leaving the professional guild. While walking, Xinghe was immersed in the portable space. Check out the map you just got. He ignored the leveling location of Leave 30, and directly focused on the location of the secret realm. Secret realm, Jade Dragon Snow Mountain difficulty, unknown introduction, in the northeast of Hypo City, in a place with steep terrain and few professionals set foot. The Professionals Guild accidentally discovered a crack in space. After entering the crack, there is a world of ice and snow, only an isolated snow mountain, and the faint sound of dragon chant. Warning, since the level of danger is unknown, professionals are requested to do what they can. Jade Dragon Snow Mountain? And the sound of dragons? Xinghe froze and stood on the pedestrian street blankly. Can a secret realm that can be related to a dragon be a simple secret realm? He stared at the dragon-shaped icon on the map, and grinned. I haven't tasted the taste of dragon blood yet. If he was an ordinary mage, he wouldn't bother with this mission with an unknown level of danger. But who is he? He is Blood Mage. What treasure could be more alluring to him than dragon blood? Therefore, he must go to Jade Dragon Snow Mountain. His goal is not only to go to the secret realm, but also to kill the leader monster in the secret realm. I don't know how long the boss monster in the secret realm can keep me sucked. Before entering the secret realm, Xinghe had already imagined how much fun he would have in the secret realm. At this time, if people know his thoughts, they will definitely sneer at him. Like Xinghe. Young people who don't know the heights of the sky and the depths of the earth don't know how many people will die every year. Xinghe is not worried about how dangerous the secret realm is at this time. His only worry is that the leader of the secret realm won't make him feel good enough. Let's go and have a look first. Xinghe rushed towards the northeast of Hypo City in the afterglow of the setting sun. Taking the last number 22 bus, it took 15 minutes to arrive at the edge of Hypo City. At this time, he was still 5 kilometers away from the end of the secret realm. Because of the steep terrain, he could only walk the rest of the way. He looked up into the distance, the quiet and terrifying mountains. The howling of wild animals from time to time is even more frightening. If it was in the past, when he hadn't awakened as a professional, he didn't dare to come to such a scary place alone at night. 2 hours later, the full moon hung high in the sky. This is the secret place. Xinghe looked at the space crack in front of him, and checked the map carefully. After confirming that it was correct, he plunged into the space crack in front of him. It was dark at first. When it was turned on again, he was already in a world of ice and snow. In the center of the secret realm, there is only one isolated snow mountain. Achoo! Just as Xinghe recovered, he sneezed loudly. 2 lines of snot flowed down unstoppably. Oops! I came here so excitedly that I didn't even have time to change my clothes. Still young. He didn't turn around and go back to change his clothes, but chose to move on firmly. As time went by, his health continued to drop. This is an inevitable world rule. In harsh environments, if professionals do not have the corresponding resistance, the life value will be deducted continuously. According to his current life value of 8,000, plus 3,000 mana, he can have a total of 12,000 health points for him to consume. If life was not replenished in time, Xinghe could only stay in the secret realm for no more than 3 hours. 3 hours later, he might be greeted by death. When Xinghe walked to the foot of the snow mountain, there was a noise. FK. This snow monster is really rough and thick. On top of the meat shield. On top of the meat shield. On top of the meat shield. Hurry up and kill them. The ultimate treasure in the secret realm. It must belong to my Zhang family. Xinghe stared dumbfounded at the scene in front of him. It was the first time he saw a scene of thousands of people fighting on the same screen. Chapter 8. At the foot of Yulong Snow Mountain, all kinds of shouts and killings shook the sky. On the battlefield, the brilliance of various skills flashed. Awakened people from many different professions have shown their special abilities. Fighting against the professionals is the monster in the secret realm, the Bigfoot. Bigfoot looks like a 3-meter-tall gorilla. Although the number of snow monsters is small, their strength is extremely strong. Every snow monster is surrounded by at least 3 professionals. Xinghe also did not expect that there would be so many professionals in the secret realm. In other words, the professional guild sold more than 1 copy of the map of the secret realm. It seems, the rich are still being taken advantage of. Xinghe shook his head and sighed. He restrained his breath and walked along the mountain road towards the top of the snow mountain. The mountain road is not only winding and rugged, but also needs to withstand the snowstorm when going up. Whenever he rubbed shoulders with the snow monster let him pass by as if he hadn't seen it. While other professionals were tired of fighting the snow monsters, few people noticed Xinghe. In this way, he leisurely traversed the entire battlefield. It is also a teenager organized by the school who came here for an outing. As he moved towards the top of the mountain, Xinghe encountered fewer and fewer battles. Boom! God of Fire! Please allow me to use your power. Use the scorching flames. Burn all the sins in front of you. Xinghe listened carefully, and amidst the howling wind, he could vaguely hear the singing coming from the wind ahead. There is a fire mage in front? After he continued walking for a certain distance, what he saw was a mess everywhere. The land that had been scorched by fire-type skills was pitch black everywhere. Thick fog filled the mountain roads. In the mist, several people's conversations could be vaguely heard. Brother Chi. You are worthy of being a fire mage. In this secret realm, you are like a god. Brother Chi. It's really a blessing to form a team with you. You alone brought us to such a leading progress. Woohoo! I, Li Sier, will also have a day of holding my thighs. This time, the leader of the secret realm must belong to us. Brother Chi. You are so brave. You must be tired. Come on, let me give you a shoulder squeeze. Boss Chi. Whether you can be a young model in the club this time depends on you, boss. A red-haired young man in a fiery red robe, about 27 or 28 years old, was enjoying the praise of everyone. Surrounding him, 3 men and 1 woman were praising him. The 4 of them squeezed the shoulders and legs of the red-haired young man with smiling faces. The only woman among them was acting coquettishly. He even used the soft flesh on his chest to inadvertently rub against the red-haired young man's arm. Xinghe was not surprised when he saw the dog-licking appearance of several people. After all, in this world, mages are a very rare profession. Coupled with the fire mage, in this secret realm, the damage to monsters can be several times higher than that of ordinary professionals. Everyone should praise the red-haired youth like this. After seeing a few people from a distance, he was ready to move on. Hey! Whose kid is this? Are you lost? It's dangerous ahead, don't go any further. Just when Xinghe was just taking a step and was about to move on, the red-haired youth called out to stop him. After the red-haired youth spoke, the rest of the people also noticed Xinghe. Everyone came to him in unison. My adults have gone up, and I will go up to have a look too. Xinghe turned to face the crowd. He felt it was funny in his heart, several people actually regarded him as a child. The level limit of this secret realm is level 30, don't a few people know? I am Xiang Yun. It's a fire mage with the title Fire Mastery. Let's form a team together, children, and we will take you to find your parents. It's too dangerous for you to walk alone. Qi Yanjian, a young man with red hair, took the initiative to invite Ye Xinghe to form a team. He showed a sunny smile and looked like a big brother next door. The reason why Qi Yanjian got to where he is today is because of his insight into people. A young man who dared to wander alone in the secret realm must have considerable strength. Moreover, it can be known from his mouth. The progress of the teenager's parents is even ahead of them. This means that behind this boy is a big family. Therefore, he made a decisive decision and decided to form a team with the lone boy in front of him. Thank you for your invitation. My parents are right in front, so I'll go up alone. When Ye Xinghe heard Qi Yanjian's invitation, he politely declined with regret on his face. The leader monster should be exclusive to him. Moreover, he didn't want others to see him fighting. Without exposing his breath, he can walk to the top of the mountain alone without hindrance. If they team up with Xianjian and the others, there is still a risk of encountering monsters. It is bound to slow down his progress. Are you worried that we are bad people? Qi Yanjian was a little puzzled. Ye Xinghe should have seen him make a move just now. Why would you refuse your invitation? This young man is too timid. I'm a sorcerer, and I use fire skills, but I'm 3 times stronger than ordinary people. Besides, I'm still a level 40 mage, so it's impossible for me to plot against you. There is still a long way to reach the top of the mountain. If you really encounter a monster, you may really lose your life. Qi Yanjian patiently explained. In his opinion, although the young master from such a big family has a high level, he is very weak in actual combat. He should be grateful to Dade for sending him an invitation to form a team. He has no reason to reject himself. Little friend, Boss Qi is right. Only by forming a team with us can safety be guaranteed. Your worries are really unnecessary. That's right, if you go further up, you won't meet again, good people like us. Several licking dogs behind Xianjian all surrounded him and echoed. Qi Yanjian is in Haipu City, but he is a person with a reputation. The people who can make him take the initiative to invite must not have simple backgrounds. Everyone looked at Ye Xinghe with anticipation. With Qi Yanjian and this mysterious young master, wouldn't this secret realm be surrounded by them? For people like them, as long as they can get out of the secret realm safely. Becoming a millionaire is just around the corner. Yet, handsome guy, there are so many people. If you want, after you go out, my sister will accompany you for a few days. The big girl approached Ye Xinghe and held his arm tightly. Feeling the warmth from his arms, Ye Xinghe's heart was calm, without any waves. He felt, in this world, without any temptation, it can be compared with the refreshing feeling brought by blood. Sorry, it's getting late, I'd better go first. Ye Xinghe broke free from the shackles of Debo's girl, and left decisively without looking back. It's cold, keep warm. Since everyone was so enthusiastic about him, he also responded with a kind reminder to everyone. Chapter 9. After Ye Xinghe refused everyone to leave, he kindly reminded them. When he was in school, he had learned it. Once the leader of the secret realm is killed, it is very likely that the secret realm will undergo major changes. Because the environment of the secret realm is different, there is no accurate answer to the accident in the books. This is Ye Xinghe's first visit to the secret realm. As for the consequences after he kills the leader monster, he is not very clear. Being able to remind a few people is the greatest help he can make. A few more words might reveal his secret. Bah! This brat really doesn't know what to do. Seeing Ye Xinghe leaving coldly, the person beside Qi Yanjian spat on the ground. Hey, he is a child from a superior family, how can he mix with us? Humph! It's just a trash who can only rely on the shadow of his ancestors. I really think I'm a character. That's it. It looks like a child who has never been beaten by the society. It would be best if he died here in an accident. To avoid harming others. After Ye Xinghe left, everyone started swearing at him. Snort. Qi Yanjian snorted coldly, he was also very displeased with Ye Xinghe's disdainful attitude. But he didn't curse like everyone else. In his opinion, if he joins the team of cursing, it will make him look very cheap. Therefore, he could only curse fiercely in his heart. A kid, what a big deal. When he is in danger and dying. You know how outrageous it is to reject your invitation today. If he encounters his corpse in a while, he won't bother to collect his corpse. Brother Chi, that brat just now was too arrogant. I know you are a fire mage, but I still want to remind you to keep warm. What does he mean? Dabo girl leaned on Xian Jiun's shoulder, fanning the flames. We move on. Xiang Yun said calmly. Listen to the boss. Let's run to the front of that kid and see what he has to say. It's really not worth it to be angry with a brat. The crowd became noisy again, surrounded by Xiang Yun, and continued to advance towards the top of the mountain. After Yexinghe separated from Xian Jiun and the others, he realized that there would be no one else. Then the skill blood hunting was activated. After opening, many blood energy ribbons appeared in front of my eyes. After using it once, he found that he could control the skill and the hunting range. The smaller the hunting range of the skill, the less HP it consumes. Therefore, he limited the hunting range of his skills to within 100 meters. In this range, his health consumption and recovery speed can just cancel each other out. The further you go to the top of the mountain, the thicker the blood energy ribbon becomes. This means that the monsters on the top of the mountain are extremely powerful. Fortunately, my blood hunting can hide my aura, and won't let those monsters actively attack me. Otherwise, it will cost me a lot of effort. Yexinghe walked alone on the mountain road, thinking to himself. Follow Blue Star's rules. Any professional, in the wild outside the city, will trigger hidden mines. As long as the level of the professional meets the requirements of the monster's lair, they will be dragged into the space crack. Without exception. No one can avoid it. No one has ever been able to hide his aura in front of monsters like himself. And you can also actively choose whether to fight monsters. This feeling is really wonderful. Yexinghe lamented his luck along the way, and before he knew it, he came to the top of the snow mountain. He glanced around. The top of Yulong Mountain is like a piece of ice cut by a knife. Smooth as a mirror. Yexinghe lowered his head, and he could see his own reflection. This secret place is really beautiful. Yexinghe admired in his heart. He tried to step on it hard, but with his 340 points of strength, he didn't crack the ice. Such a situation made his face slightly moved. At this time, in his line of sight, a system prompt popped up. You have stepped into the territory of the boss monster. The mandatory battle is about to begin. The prompt that appeared suddenly did not make Yexinghe panic. He calmly prepared for the battle. Roar. He assumed a fighting posture for only a few seconds, and a dragon roar resounded throughout the world. The ice under his feet began to crack like a spider web, making crackling noises. An invisible dragon's power suppressed him, as if a few boulders suddenly fell from the sky and landed heavily on his back. You have been locked by the leader monster. Can't get out of the fight. Affected by Longwei, all your attributes are reduced by 80%. System prompts kept appearing before Yexinghe's eyes. At this time, the system also judged that his situation was extremely dangerous. From the system's point of view, as a level 30 mage, facing any monster of the dragon genus would be courting death. It really didn't disappoint me. It's really the leader of the dragon genus. If it were someone else, I'm afraid I would have been scared to pee at this time. But, the me now is only excited. There was a heavy weight on Yexinghe's body, and it was very difficult for him to raise his hand now. If it were another professional of the same level, I'm afraid it would be too late to regret at this time. But Yexinghe was not only not afraid, but also showed a look of excitement and madness on his face. He stared straight ahead. Boom! The ice cracked. A pair of huge dragon horns broke through the ice. The flawless white jade faucet sticks out from the ice cave. The ice surface, as hard as steel, just like tofu, was squeezed away by it without any hindrance. Its 100-meter-long dragon body was fully displayed in front of Yexinghe. The bone wings covering the sky completely shrouded Yexinghe in shadow. This is a western dragon like a giant lizard. Contrary to what Yexinghe thought, this dragon boss monster turned out to be a bone dragon. In this icy and snowy secret realm, shouldn't the leader be an ice monster? Leave 40 white jade bone dragon. Due to the large level gap, he could only see the basic information of the white jade bone dragon. Is this a dragon? It's really big. It's the first time I've seen such a big monster. I have never seen such a huge monster online. This was the first time Yexinghe saw such a huge bone dragon, and he was a little surprised for a while. No wonder, when entering the secret realm, the system will prompt you to form a team. Yexinghe sighed. According to the normal situation, a boss monster like this needs a team of professionals to spawn. Soldiers taunt in front to attract hatred, output occupations output behind fighters, and auxiliary occupations are responsible for buffs and treatments. Only a perfect and reasonable team configuration can barely kill such a boss monster. Like him, single-handedly killing the boss monster is simply unprecedented. If you want to clear the secret realm alone, it is as difficult as climbing the sky. Chapter 10. Xinghe looked excited, he couldn't wait to enjoy the blood of the bone dragon. Wait. This bone dragon has no flesh and blood, does it really make me squeeze out blood? Doubts arose from the bottom of his heart, this bone dragon wouldn't let him, so the trip would be in vain. Blood draw. Xinghe let out a low snort, and a few bloody tentacles sprouted from his body, wrapping around the toe bones of the white jade bone dragon. No way, this bone dragon is really too big. The majestic blood energy turned into life value and poured into Xinghe's body. His face was flushed, but his face was full of enjoyment. Roar. Feel the uncontrollable passing of your life value. The white jade bone dragon roared furiously, frantically trying to throw Xinghe away. Like a kite, Xinghe was pulled in the air by the white jade bone dragon. The white jade bone dragon was very angry, no matter how hard it tried, Xinghe stuck to it like a dog's skin plaster and couldn't get off. Roar. The white jade bone dragon let out a loud roar, and spewed out the dragon's breath of death. A large amount of pale death fog enveloped Xinghe. His health drops rapidly. The lethality of dragon's breath of death far exceeds the absorption speed of blood draining life value. If Xinghe had no other backup, he must be the one who lost in the end. Then try the newly learned Blood River with the thought, Xinghe focused on the blood red skill icon. The skill Blood River is released instantly. Saya. Xinghe and the bone dragon's head. The void is like a rag, with a few big openings. From the big opening, bloody rivers rush out. The river of blood flowing down from the sky, like a waterfall, poured down on the tops of both of them. Due to the restrictions of the Blue Star rules, the place where Xinghe and Bone Dragon are fighting belongs to an independent space. The river of blood flowing down from the sky filled the entire space in just a few breaths. The combat space is like a small blood-colored bowl, upside down on the top of Jade Dragon Snow Mountain. Xinghe and Bone Dragon, completely immersed in the world of blood. Ho! 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 Comfortable two different voices resounded in the blood-colored space. The sounds of pain and comfort are clearly distinguishable. In the bloody space, blood nourishes Xinghe all the time. The situation of the white jade bone dragon was completely opposite to him. To it, blood is completely sulfuric acid, corroding its dragon body all the time. The blood bar above its head is disappearing at a speed visible to the naked eye. The reason why Xinghe was able to call out several massive blood rivers was the thick blood bar of the white jade bone dragon. Without the support of the white jade bone dragon, a river of blood alone could drain Xinghe dry. The offensive and defensive situation is reversed. Seeing the pained expression of the white jade bone dragon, Xinghe felt extremely happy in his heart. But his condition was not optimistic either, his face was pale and he looked anemic. Just now, the white jade bone dragon's breath of death and the skill blood river consumed 80% of his HP. Without blood absorption to continuously absorb the bone dragon's health, it would be impossible for him to survive until now. Ding! The health value of the white jade bone dragon is lower than 20%, and it is about to fall into a state of rage. Roar! As soon as the system sound fell, the white jade bone dragon let out a roar, and the white and flawless body of the dragon began to turn pink. Rumble! On the top of Jade Dragon Snow Mountain, due to the rage of the white jade bone dragon, an avalanche occurred in the secret realm. So fast! Xinghe was a little surprised. The bone dragon went berserk right after the system prompt ended. Isn't the transformation speed a little faster? But it doesn't matter, the trapped beast is still fighting. He snorted coldly, not paying attention to the berserk state of the white jade bone dragon at all. As Xinghe expected, after the white jade bone dragon went berserk, it didn't last for a few breaths before it wailed and died. It turned into a ball of light, and there were a lot of treasures floating inside. The reason why Xinghe is so confident is because of Blood River. When the white jade bone dragon was soaked in the Blood River, there was no room for struggle at all. The poor leader of the secret realm, before he could think of a way to get rid of Xinghe, his blood bar disappeared. There's no chance of a comeback. White jade bone dragon, fall. In this secret realm that has just been opened, I never dreamed of it, and I haven't even shown my dragon power to the world. He was drowned in the stinky river of blood by a small leave 30 imp. Before the fall of the white jade bone dragon, the avalanche summon still exists. The white torrent swept down from the top of the mountain, and the entire secret realm began to tremble. The mountainside of Jade Dragon Snow Mountain. God of Fire! Please grant me your power. Burn the evil in front of you. Qi Yanjian's long red hair fluttered, and he shouted out the skill guiding spell with a solemn face. Incomparably hot white flames swept across Fang Yuan for dozens of meters. The 3 snow monsters in the secret realm were reduced to ashes amidst howling. Buried in the ashes are items dropped by monsters. Good luck, there are items falling. Looking at the shimmering ring on the ground, Qi Yanjian's calm face showed joy. Get rich. Rings are rare equipment. This secret realm is simply my luck. As soon as I walked to the mountainside, I dropped a ring. Isn't the secret treasure in the secret realm even more precious? Xiang Yun thought with anticipation. His current strength has reached a bottleneck. If you want to improve your strength again, you can only use top quality equipment to stack. He is bound to get the secret treasure in the secret realm this time. He looked in front of him, protecting his dog-licking teammates, in a good mood. Although these guys are low in strength, they are still somewhat useful. As long as they can temporarily block the boss monster for themselves. Let yourself hide behind, crazy output. He has great confidence in achieving his goals. That brat is really blind. If he misses me as an archmage, he must never have imagined that I'm the one who laughs last in the secret realm. In Qi Yanjian's mind, Ye Xinghe's face suddenly flashed, and an unknown fire rose in his heart. Rumble. Kindness? Where did it collapse? Just when Xiang Yun went to pick up the ring on the ground, there were continuous sounds of collapse in his ears. He looked up in the direction of the sound. The ground also began to tremble slightly. How could there be an earthquake in this secret place? Could it be that there are soldiers nearby, using high-level skills war stomp? Xian Jiayun murmured, constantly guessing the cause of the earthquake in his heart. Boss, the situation looks a little bad, should we go down the mountain first? Among Xian Jiayun's group, there was a bald man who reminded him aloud. Although his appearance is rough, he is the most careful person in the team. Feeling the vibration of the ground, he began to feel uneasy in his heart. Chapter 11. Qi Yanjian had some disdain for the bald man, he was so timid for such a big man. He said with some displeasure, this shock is just a trivial matter. What are you afraid of? Let's move on. What about earthquakes? He is a majestic level 40 archmage. Are you still afraid of this small earthquake? Besides, in case a certain soldier is really releasing war stomp, if he is scared and runs away. Once the news leaks out, how can I still mess around in Hypo City? You're too timid, Big Bald, we just listened to Boss Qi. Brother Qi won't cheat us. Did you forget that he took so much care of us along the way? The others also heard the conversation between Xiang Yun and the bald head. They all gathered around the bald head and tried to persuade him. After all, Qi Yanjian is a level 40 archmage, so safety in the secret realm is not something they need to consider at all. Roar! Just when everyone was preparing to move on, there was a roar of a giant dragon from the top of the mountain, and the roar was full of pain. Boom boom boom! Jade Dragon Snow Mountain suddenly shook violently. Xian Jiayun and his party couldn't stand firmly for a while, and they all fell to the ground. Qi, Boss Qi! Are you okay? Qi Yanjian, who fell to the ground, was scrambled to get up by several people. Don't be noisy. This is just a small scene, don't make a fuss. Qi Yanjian thought that everyone was laughing at him, and when he was a bit embarrassed, he roared angrily when he was helped up by everyone. As the mage with the strongest output in the team, he must hold the scene at this critical moment. No, boss. You look up. Qi Yanjian was just reminded that the dangerous bald head looked at the top of his head in horror, and his speech became stuttering. It was only then that Qi Yanjian realized that the bald head was not lying, and something bad might really be happening. He looked up. FK, trough. The sky is falling. No. This is an avalanche. Qi Yanjian, who had always regarded himself as calm, was so startled by the scene in front of him that his eyes were about to pop out. The mouth is wide open, and the jaw is about to dislocate. The world seemed to be turned upside down, and countless heavy snow torrents were buckled down. My mother! It's too late to run. What's going on? It's been fine all along. Woohoo! I don't want to die. The big bald head is the most kind. In this critical situation, he carried his two teammates with weak legs and ran down the mountain desperately. Chi Yanjiun, who had always regarded himself as a strong man, was so frightened that his body went limp. Looking at the big bald head who was running away quickly, he shouted for help, "Help me!" Unfortunately, the avalanche was so loud that the bald head couldn't hear his cry for help. Before natural disasters, everyone is equal. When the avalanche was photographed, Chi Yanjiun opened the magic shield in time, exhausted all the magic power, and offset the damage of the avalanche. If I had known earlier, I should have paid attention to the reminder from the bald head. Chi Yanjiun said, dying. He was buried in the snow with only one head exposed. Shivering with chills, that boy is really a crow's mouth, I'm so cold now. Tick ring ring. Tick ring ring. Tick ring ring. Haipu City Professionals Association. The phone in the president's office rang non-stop. What? An avalanche broke out in the secret realm. President Su picked up the phone, and immediately exclaimed after hearing the message on the phone. He was really about to break down. I just finished reporting to the General Assembly about the citywide blood loss incident yesterday. The urgent rest has not yet come, so I have to deal with the avalanche of the secret realm by myself. How could there be an avalanche in the secret realm? Although the secret realm we're exploring is dangerous, it won't cause mass casualties. Before he had time to think about it, he picked up the microphone on the table and shouted, "Attention all employees, everyone put down their work. Hurry up and go to the Jade Dragon secret realm to save people." President Su put down the receiver, put on the equipment in the portable space, and ran out immediately. At this time, he felt that his high blood pressure was about to be committed. I didn't sleep all night last night, and my voice was hoarse when I spoke, so I cooperated with the city government to calm the emotions of the citizens. Now it happened again, a mass injury event like an avalanche. How should I explain to my superiors? President Su ran to the lobby downstairs and saw the employees jumping like dogs. Director Song! Director Song! Director Song! With a hoarse voice, he looked for his capable men. Here we come! Chairman! A middle-aged fat man ran over, also sweating profusely. The secret realm that I asked you to evaluate last time, why did there appear to be an avalanche? President Su took a deep breath and asked in a deep voice. I don't know too well. All of our assessment team agree that this secret realm will not cause mass casualties. Otherwise, we don't dare to open this secret realm. Director Song was in a hurry, if he couldn't explain the avalanche in the secret realm clearly. He is very likely to be responsible for this incident. Then how do you explain Shuebeng? President Su asked. Director Song's brain was spinning rapidly, thinking about how to answer the chairman. He suddenly had a flash of inspiration, as if he had thought of something, hesitantly said, "President, do you think there is a possibility that someone used a natural disaster level skill in the secret realm?" President Su's eyes were fixed. It is indeed possible, but it must be a skill that can only be used by a boss of level 50. That kind of boss can't enter the secret realm. The level limit of this Jade Dragon secret realm is from level 30 to level 50. After thinking about it carefully, he rejected Supervisor Song's conjecture. Then, that is, someone used a forbidden item. Director Song guessed again. Forbidden level props? That's the treasure of the town. Whose brains will use it in the secret realm? That's a loss-making business. You can figure out the reason. Seeing that Director Song couldn't give him a satisfactory answer, President Su leaned close to Director Song's fat face and cursed loudly. Then I don't know, but what is certain is that it must be human-made. Director Song, who had lost his mind, said weakly. President Su lamented, "Forget it, I won't embarrass you anymore. As for the real cause of the avalanche, we can only investigate it when the people above come." After he reported the unknown blood loss incident in the city yesterday, people from the General Assembly said that some big bosses would come to investigate in the near future. Unexpectedly, just one day later, there was an avalanche group injury incident. In Haipu City, a small city near the sea, such vicious group incidents occurred twice in succession. It is estimated that it will be famous all over the country in the near future. That's just it. Unlucky to go home, unlucky mother to open the door for unlucky, unlucky to go home. People all over the country will give him the title of Unlucky Guy for Old Su. He is a high-level professional, with such a title on his head, he will not even dare to go out in the future. Call. President Su took a deep breath to calm down. Director Song, now is not the time to pursue responsibility, let's go to the secret realm to save people. Yes. Chairman. Director Song responded. After all, the two rushed to the Jade Dragon secret realm with everyone in the guild. Chapter 12. Jade Dragon Secret Realm. The top of Jade Dragon Snow Mountain. After the death of the leader monster, the top of the mountain no longer looked like it used to, and it looked dilapidated everywhere. The long way that was scary before has disappeared. After the death of the white Jade Bone Dragon, Xinghe seemed to press the reverse button, and automatically retreated to the space crack. As if it had never appeared before. A lot of experience, it directly promoted me to level 5. Xinghe put his eyes on the character panel, the original number of leave 30 has changed to leave 35. After reading the levels, he looked at the fluorescent equipment and treasures floating in front of him. With a wave of his hand, Xinghe received all the treasures that exploded into his portable space. After the treasures were received in the portable space, their true colors were revealed. The items released by the White Jade Bone Dragon are all C-level equipment at the lowest level. What really attracted his attention were two B-level items emitting blue light. The Bone Dragon's Hatred, Level B, Category, Ring Level Requirement, Level 35 Effect, Strength plus 200, Dexterity plus 100 Durability, 100/100 Subsidiary Effect, Fear the attacked target has a 20% chance of falling into a state of soullessness for 2 seconds, which is invalid for creatures above level 45. Sigh of the Dead, Level B, Category, Necklace Level Requirement, Level 35 Effect, Life plus 500, Mana plus 500 Durability, 100/100 Subsidiary Effect, Regeneration when the life is lower than 10%, it will continue to restore 20% of the user's life. Xinghe was overjoyed. The attributes of the two pieces of equipment are completely different from the whiteboard equipment obtained in the People's Park before. The Hatred of the Bone Dragon can actually increase its strength by 200 points. Every point of strength adds 10 extra life points, 200 points are 2000 life points. In the Agility attribute, it also increased by 100 points, which greatly improved him. And the Fear effect attached to the equipment is simply a battle artifact. In battle, being able to control the target for 2 seconds is a completely devastating blow to the enemy. The Sigh of the Dead has a bonus to health and mana, and if it is placed on Xinghe's body, it will be 1000 health points. The regeneration effect attached to the equipment can bring him back to life when he is on the verge of death. Both are pieces of equipment that can turn the tide of battle. After looking at the B-level equipment, Xinghe casually looked at the rest of the harvest. Just skipping a few pieces of C-level equipment, his pupil shrank. His eyes stayed on a piece of dull equipment. A-level unknown staff category, weapon attribute, unidentified what? It turned out to be an unidentified A-level staff. When the teacher was in class, he mentioned the unidentified equipment and said it was the most exciting equipment in Blue Star. Each piece of equipment after identification is unique. The teacher once laughed at us non-chiefs, and we may never meet one in a lifetime. Haha. I didn't expect that today, I would come across an unidentified piece of equipment. Xinghe exclaimed happily, and took out this unidentified piece of equipment from the portable space. He took the staff in his hand. The unidentified staff was completely black, without any light, and looked worse than D-level equipment. Xinghe let out a long breath, thankful for his good habit of loving money. Any items that are included in the portable space. He doesn't care about the grade, so he will check it carefully. If not for this habit, this unidentified staff may have been thrown away by him as garbage. For unidentified equipment, identification is required. It's a pity that he is a rookie and hasn't learned such a tall thing as identification. After all, this kind of magic is not used by ordinary people. After getting the unidentified equipment, Xinghe was excited to check the items. Ha ha ha. Good luck. There are 2 skill books. Xinghe, who was so lucky that he was so lucky, laughed a little stiffly on his pale face. Just after a big battle, the loss of health was restored to 30%. Now, because of his emotional agitation, his injuries caused his health to drop by 5% again. Damn, does it mean that extreme joy begets sorrow? Xinghe was so frightened that he immediately took a deep breath and quickly calmed down. If he continues to enjoy himself like this, he may become the first professional in Blue Star to die happily. After his mood stabilized, he carefully examined the 2 skill books. Angel Blessing Professional Requirements, Pastor Level Requirement, leave 35 make allies within a certain range increase their own attributes by 50%, and add sacred attributes to their attacks. The effect lasts for 30 minutes. Blindfold Professional Requirements, General Level Requirement, leave 0 passive effect, you can camouflage your own occupation and level, and it is invalid for professionals who are 10 levels higher than your own level FK. They are all powerful passive skill books. Xinghe took a deep breath and forcibly suppressed the excitement in his heart. Passive skill books are too precious, every time they appear on the market, there will be a bloodbath. I didn't expect that I would find 2 copies at once. Is this the benefit of traversers? This priest's skill, go back to the market and find an opportunity to sell it. I have to learn this blinding method by myself. This is a magical skill to cover up my blood mage identity. Although Xinghe was very moved by the introduction of Angel's Blessing, it was a pity that his occupation did not match. The only thing he can learn is a skill book, the blinding method that does not limit occupations. His attention couldn't wait to fall on the skill book of blinding eyes. With a thought, he pressed the learning button on the skill book. Ding! You have learned the skill, Blindfold. Before the system sound fell, the skill panel changed again. Blindfolding has successfully evolved into Blood Asylum under the research of Blood Mage Blood Asylum. What kind of skill is this? This Blood Mage is too awesome. Even this passive skill can study evolution. With shock in his heart, Xinghe's eyes fell on the skill panel. Blood Asylum passive skill, you are the master of blood in the world, no one can see your details, the target who maliciously harms you will randomly get a negative state. This is not simply evolution. Instead, strengthen and improve the original blinding method skills. Xinghe said that he was very confused, and he was strengthened by the system without knowing it. He complained in his heart, fortunately, the system has positively enhanced the skills I have learned. If it gets weaker and weaker, I'm going to cry. He roughly browsed through the skill introduction, and quickly understood the passive effect of blood protection. On the basis of retaining the original skills and concealing functions, the ability to grant negative effects to hostile targets has also been added. However, for him, the cover-up function of blindness is the most important thing to him. With the ability to conceal, he no longer has to worry about revealing his identity every day. Chapter 13. There shouldn't be any major changes in the secret realm. Xinghe glanced at the grey sky, ready to go down the mountain and go home. In this era, only rank and equipment are everything. For Xinghe, who became Blood Mage, after obtaining a large amount of equipment, he is also looking forward to his future development. As he was walking down the mountain, he felt strange. Why is there a thick layer of snow on the ground? Could it be that when he killed the boss monster, a heavy snow fell in the secret realm unknowingly? But the further he went down the mountain, the more he felt something was wrong. FK. In front of Xinghe, a small snow mountain suddenly appeared, blocking his way. This can't be, an avalanche happened. He looked around for traces, becoming more and more sure of his guess. After he activated the skill blood hunting and found that many blood energy ribbons had become very thin. The thickness of the blood energy ribbon represents the number of life points. And this hair-thin ribbon means that many targets are in a state of low health. This further proves that a lot of changes have taken place in the secret realm. I didn't cause this avalanche. Xinghe's heart thumped, and he began to doubt. But the battle space between himself and the leader monster is airtight, and it is impossible for the aftermath of the battle to leak out. But the mess in front of him couldn't be an illusion. All evidence indicates that large-scale disasters have occurred here. He has a profound concept of the power of his skills. In future battles, you can no longer do whatever you want, and you should take the safety of passers-by into consideration. Xinghe blamed himself. After the accident, someone should ask for help in time, and I believe that people from the guild will come over soon. In this era of job change for the whole people, only professionals can deal with monster lairs in the wild and maintain the stability and peace of Blue Star. Every professional is a precious asset of the country, and the country and the guild will not cause large-scale damage to the professional. Hurry up! There is a wounded person here, hurry up and dig him out. Xinghe, who had just climbed over the small snow mountain, heard a shout from not far away. He quickened his pace a little and rushed to the place where the sound came from. Not long after, he saw quite a few rescuers in guild uniforms continuously carry the wounded on their backs and move them to a safe place down the mountain. Boy! How lucky you are! Behind Xinghe, a middle-aged voice sounded. Xinghe was startled when he heard a voice suddenly coming from behind. He turned and looked behind him. A middle-aged man in a guild uniform was watching him. "Yeah, I was also lucky and escaped a catastrophe," Xinghe responded. When answering, he deliberately made his voice very weak, coupled with his severely injured and unhealed pale face. "It's like a blood loss." The middle-aged man who greeted Xinghe was the guild leader Su. He searched all the way up, thinking that there would be no one there. "I didn't expect to meet a young man by accident." He was slightly surprised. Such a young man with an immature look on his face would actually reach this level of progress in the secret realm. Because, not far up, it is the territory of the leader monster. "What courage! Seeing your pale face, you should have been seriously injured in the avalanche. Come down the mountain with us, it will be safer." President Su looked at Xinghe kindly. He has always had a good attitude towards young and promising people. "That's great, I came here to ask for help, and I just met you guys." Ahem. Xinghe looked rejoicing, and coughed heavily to match his injury. As soon as he turned his head, he noticed the golden five-pointed star on the middle-aged man's shoulder. Those were the shoulder ornaments that only the high-ranking members of the guild were eligible to wear. He didn't even need to guess, the middle-aged man must be a senior member of the rescue team this time. In order not to reveal his identity, he needs to pretend to be a victim. And when dealing with such a high-level professional, you must play up your spirits and don't show your flaws easily. Seeing Xinghe agree, President Su showed a satisfied smile. Xinghe followed President Su and walked towards the main force of the rescue team. Just entering the team, he glanced at it casually. A familiar figure quickly attracted his attention. 4 or 5 guild rescuers were holding shovels and digging on the ground. The person who attracted Xinghe's attention was the person in the pit. The person in the pit has long red hair, which is very conspicuous. "Isn't that Qianjiun?" Xinghe was a little surprised. Qianjiun's long red hair was very messy at this time. Looks like a lost rooster, very down and out. In this icy and snowy environment, his frozen face turned blue and he shivered. Xinghe almost couldn't help laughing. "Is he a crow's mouth?" I kindly reminded him to keep warm. I didn't expect that when we met again, he would be frozen so badly. Fortunately, his occupation is a fire mage, and he is very tolerant to freezing. Coupled with the timely rescue of the professional guild. If it were another professional, he would be buried in the snow for such a long time. It is estimated that he will die long ago. It's a pity, this level 40 fire mage. Originally he was the most hopeful person to pass, but unfortunately, he encountered an avalanche of 2 people. President Su looked at Xiangyun in the pit, and said regretfully. Then he turned his head to look at Xinghe. "Which adventure group are you from? Where are your other teammates?" For Xinghe, who was alone, President Su guessed him at this time. "You must be very worried about the safety of your lost teammates." "Adventure group?" Xinghe was slightly taken aback. Because he has risen too fast, he doesn't seem to have considered the issue of joining the adventure group. In the era of Blue Star, where all people change jobs, social organizations are slightly different from those in normal times. The adventure group is a new group organization. 3 or 5 professionals who trust each other can register as an adventure group in the guild. The adventure group is also an organization recognized by the job transfer system, and it has many conveniences in the process of upgrading. More than 99% of the people who came to pass the customs in this secret realm were members of the adventure group. Could it be that you lost your memory after being photographed by the avalanche? President Su looked at Xinghe, who was dumbfounded and silent, and frowned. There was a hint of worry in his eyes. I came alone." After Xinghe hesitated, he said slowly. He didn't want to lie. If a middle-aged man finds out that he is single in the future, he will definitely not spare himself who is lying. "What?" President Su was shocked when he heard Xinghe's answer. Can't help but doubt his true identity. I sneaked out without telling my family." Xinghe blushed slightly, and said coyly. Now he can only pretend to be an ignorant teenager. If the senior management of the guild sees some flaws, it is speculated that he was the cause of the avalanche. He must be sent to prison. "I see." Chairman Su showed a look that I understood. In his opinion, this is an ignorant young man from a big family who sneaked out behind his back because of his rebellious temperament. Only by relying on the life-saving props given by the elders in the family can he survive this natural disaster by luck. It is impossible to be the culprit of this natural disaster. Chapter 14. President Su admired Xinghe, this young man with character. Where are you going in a while? I'll take you there. Xinghe said gratefully, let me go back to the guild with you, I will find a suitable task for me. Don't play crazy outside, it's better to go home early. President Su looked at Xinghe speechlessly, thinking that he was a brat who hadn't played enough and didn't want to go home yet. Xinghe chuckled and did not deny it. He didn't want to explain too much. For him, the more President Su made up his mind, the safer he would be. When everyone dug out the frozen Xianjian, the rescue work of this trip was over. He and Xiang Yun were the last two. Most of the other people, who have not made much progress in the strategy of the secret realm, gathered on the mountainside and at the foot of the mountain. Fortunately, because there is a long distance from the top of the mountain. When the avalanche rushed down the mountain, its power had already weakened a lot. For professionals in the secret realm, the most serious thing is fractures. President Su brought Xinghe by his side, like an elder in the family, talking to him endlessly about the experience of those who have experienced it. For Xinghe, a new professional, it is very helpful. President Su was more and more satisfied with the appearance of Xinghe being taught with an open mind. After leaving the secret realm, Xinghe took the guild's ride, and returned to the Hypo City Professionals Guild within a short tea time. Xinghe, I will send you here. I still have things to do, so I bid you farewell first. President Su said gently, with the appearance of a kind elder. The two are like uncle and nephew with deep affection. Thank you, Uncle Su. Xinghe smiled politely. The two talked happily along the way. Xinghe, who has lived in two lives, is completely free from the vanity of contemporary young people. Honestly, he is like a good baby who keeps his own way. Your boy is very good. You have no family children at all, and you have such a stinking problem. I hope you can advance smoothly on the road of professionalism in the future. Seeing Xinghe get out of the car and lightly close the door, President Su nodded in satisfaction. After waving goodbye to Xinghe, Chairman Su asked the driver to start the car and leave. When he glanced at Xinghe in the rearview mirror, I admired again in my heart, what a handsome young man, with high strength and low profile. Occupation is still a promising mage. It's a pity that my daughter is still in kindergarten, otherwise. It is not impossible to let him wait a few years before getting married, he is still young anyway. Thinking of this, President Su smiled and couldn't help humming a little tune. The worries brought about by the avalanche incident seemed to disappear without a trace at this moment. Guild Hall. The noble lady who is on duty does not need to participate in the rescue, and is arranged to stay at the headquarters. Seeing the crowd carrying the wounded back, she curiously went outside, wanting to see how many wounded there were in the avalanche. As soon as she walked outside the door, she saw the scene of Xinghe saying goodbye to Chairman Su. Her heart was shocked. As expected, I guessed correctly, that kid's background is indeed extraordinary. Others are carried out when they go to the secret realm, but he came back in the president's special car. While she was in a daze, Xinghe walked towards her. The big sister is you. Unexpectedly, only half a day has passed, and we meet again. Xinghe walked towards the lady with a smile. Congratulations, this secret realm has gained a lot, right? When the noble lady saw him approaching, she also went up to meet him. Don't talk about it, there was an avalanche in the secret realm this time, and I almost couldn't get out. Xinghe immediately put on a helpless look. What he worries most is letting others know that he is the ultimate beneficiary. After all, Xinghe was the only one who emerged from the secret realm. Well, you hide really deep. The lady looked at Xinghe meaningfully. When meeting this boy for the first time, he never told the truth. For the answer he gave to himself, he can understand it in reverse. Seeing that the lady didn't believe it, Xinghe spread his hands, saying that it's up to you whether you believe it or not. With his reckless appearance, the lady smiled. What are you doing running back here when such a big incident happened in the city? Xinghe replied, this time I returned empty-handed, a little unwilling, and want to see other tasks. Do you need me to serve you? This time I will give you free. The lady blinked and looked at Xinghe seductively. Xinghe didn't hesitate, and immediately waved his hand to refuse. No. No. I was a little scared by the avalanche, so I came back to my senses and said. For this clever big sister, his first reaction was to stay away from her. If you miss this offer, you won't have it next time. Seeing Xinghe decisively rejecting herself, she continued to seduce unwillingly. She was very interested in this boy with a mysterious background. No. No. Xinghe shook his head again and again. Snort. The lady snorted coldly, turned her head and left with a cold face. Since Xinghe was so clueless, she didn't bother to say anything. Xinghe, who stayed where he was, watched the noble lady leave with her high heels, and smiled wryly in his heart. It's better not to get along with such a meticulous person. After the lady left, he also entered the guild hall. Just order a drink in the rest area and find a seat to sit down. He opened his character panel and began to think about the next way. In the absence of reliable relatives to guide him, every decision he makes must be carefully considered. If he doesn't pay attention to the direction of career development, he will definitely live up to the golden finger given to him by God. Waste the unique class of Blood Mage. Xinghe occupation, Blood Mage level, leave 35 health, 14,800 mana, 3,600 to 3,600 strength, 570 agility, 175 intelligence, 80 available attributes, 50 title, 1000 people / Dragon Slayer. Thousands of killing, excessive killings condense into substance on you, and your enemies will be terrified by your murderous aura. Effect, reduce the damage of enemy targets by 5%. Dragon Slayer, after killing a dragon monster, you will get the honorary title. When any dragon monster fights with you in the future, it will directly enter a berserk state. Effect, increase damage to dragon monsters by 10%. After seeing his panel, Xinghe stared. Opening the character panel this time, his first glance subconsciously fell on the title. A lot of detailed information popped up. FK. Can I order this too? I thought it was just a nice nickname suffix. Before this, he had never tried it and turned his attention to the title. Now he finally understands. Before Xiang Yun boasted that he was a titled mage, what was going on? It turns out that the title has such a big bonus for professionals. The gap between ordinary professionals and title professionals is not so large. Xinghe, who just figured out the function of the title today, muttered in a low voice, "This can't be me, the knowledge I missed when I was sleeping in class, right?" 3 good students. Xinghe really rebelled once. After Shihao lost his love in elementary school and was dumped, he dragged him to an internet cafe to spend the night. When he was in class the next day, he slept all day. Damn it! Next time I see the mouse, I will definitely beat him up. Xinghe thought viciously. Chapter 15. Xinghe was extremely depressed. I swallowed the orange juice I just ordered in one gulp, but the depression in my heart still hasn't subsided. After he thought for a while, decided to go shopping at Yida Plaza. When people are unhappy, shopping is the best medicine. He used to have no money, but now he has millions of cash, so of course he has to squander it. By the way, another batch will be processed, harvested in the secret realm. Exchange them for props that can enhance your strength. After the decision, Xinghe left the guild. Go out and take a taxi and go straight to Yida Trading Center. Yida Trading Center is located in the center of Hypa City, covering more than 80% of the basic necessities of citizens. Its appearance is in the shape of a giant blue and white porcelain bowl in Yan Kingdom. The luxurious and atmospheric temperament is like a treasure. It stands in Hypa City, a small coastal city. As the largest trading center in Hypa City, there is a huge flow of people every day. But after the avalanche incident broke out in the city, most people go to the hospital to visit their relatives and friends. This has led to the sparse flow of people in Yida Trading Center today. It looks a little deserted. After Xinghe stepped into the trading center, he used a bronze VIP card given by Yida to open a very private room. After he takes pictures of the items he wants, the waiter will deliver his items to the private room. As for the bronze VIP card for opening private rooms, the transaction center only gives it to customers with a transaction volume of more than 1 million, and the card contains various discounts and services. In addition to the bronze card, Yida also has a silver card with a transaction volume of more than 10 million yuan, a gold card with a transaction volume of more than 100 million yuan, and a black card that cannot be bought with money. The grading of cards shows the financial resources and status of professionals. After entering the room, Xinghe lay in a comfortable position on the sofa in the room. Pick up the trading tablet provided in the private room and log into your trading account. After logging into the trading interface, there is a friendly greeting from the system. Distinguished bronze user.mr. Xinghe, welcome to Yida again, and wish you a happy shopping. This bronze user sounds really a little nervous. The bronze rank in my previous life has always been used to describe elementary school students. Xinghe felt speechless looking at the greeting on the tablet. After clicking to close the interface, the real shopping interface appears. When he saw the interface on the tablet, he was shocked, and looked at an option in the upper right corner of the tablet, Bronze Exclusive. This is. With doubts, he clicked on the Bronze Exclusive column. After the contents of the tablet were refreshed again, the products that appeared opened his eyes. The quality of this product is completely different from the last time I came here. Xinghe sighed. Only then did he realize how different the treatment he received was for the rich and the poor. A separate private room and exclusive shopping interface for bronze, no longer need to be the same as before. Squatting in a shopping hall similar to the stock center in the previous life. Keep an eye on the shopping information on the big screen, for fear that the item you like will be bought by others in the next second. Buying something is even more careful than buying stocks in the previous life. Well now, after becoming a bronze user. For the products in the bronze exclusive interface, the previously limited products become unlimited. In addition, there are many products that have not been seen before. In that case, let's see if there is any skill book I need. When I was an ordinary user, I couldn't grab it. Thinking about it, Xinghe opened the search interface, and began to search for skill books matching his profession according to the conditions of mage skills. Sure enough, as he expected, there were more than a dozen pages in the retrieved skill book. He was overjoyed, and began to choose the skill book that suited him. After a while, he picked out a skill book of the curse department. Because curse mages are extremely rare, the demand for curse skills in the market is also extremely rare. This makes the price of the curse type skill book comparable to that of a normal mage skill book, the price of cabbage. But a cabbage price level 35 curse skill book also cost Xinghe 1.4 million federal coins, which made him feel distressed. Only 10 minutes after he placed the order, the beautiful waiter in black silk delivered the skill book he ordered to his private room. After she left, Xinghe opened the outer package of the skill book, revealing a simple book with a grey-black cover. Nightmare Whispering, active skill, collects the hair of the enemy, summons the nightmare by cursing, whispers in the target's ear, and makes the target fall into a state of confusion. With a joy on his face, he couldn't wait to throw the skill book into the portable space. Seeing the learning button lit up on the skill book in the portable space, he knew his guess was right. You can learn all the skills of a mage. He clicked the button without hesitation, and the skill book slowly disappeared from the inventory. Ding! You have learned the curse skill, Nightmare's Raving. After the system sound fell, there was no change for a long time. Xinghe was taken aback. Hey? Don't skills evolve? Was his guess wrong? But if you don't evolve skills, how can you use a blood mage, curse spells? Forget it, since I have successfully learned the skill, I can definitely use it. Whether it evolves or not. While Xinghe was comforting himself, the grey curse spells on the skill panel began to slowly turn red with blood. The skill icon is completely dyed red, with a golden glow on the border. The golden on represents the generation of new skills. He looked at the skill panel in horror. Why is there a delay in this system? Will I be slapped in the face today? Regarding the term game delay, he only encountered it in his previous life. In the era of job transfer for all, the word delay has disappeared. He was only awakened today and recalled these two words. Ding! Nightmare's Ravings, under the research of Blood Mage, automatically evolved into Blood Magic. The Curse of Blood Mage. Curse of Blood Mage, active skill, collect the blood of the target and put it into a curse. When you are attacked, the target will lose 1% of its total blood per second, and the effect lasts for 120 seconds. Xinghe stared at the new skill that had just evolved, and began to feel panic in his heart. The system won't hear me complaining just now, right? If it has its own consciousness, what if it gets angry and doesn't give itself evolution skills? I was wrong. In order to prevent accidents, he decided to take the initiative to apologize. Xinghe clasped his hands together. I read it silently in my heart. I apologize to you, system. I shouldn't be so superficial and question your ability. I hope you will continue to work hard in the future. Create greater glories. Chapter 16. Watching the introduction of the new skill Curse of Blood Mage, Xinghe couldn't help but think of the Book of 7 Arrows with Nailheads in Feng Shen Yanyi. These two skills have the same effect. Both skills are curse techniques, which can kill people invisible. Book of 7 Arrows on the Nailhead is a way of piercing the grassman to curse and kill the enemy. And his curse spell turned out to be piercing himself? Xinghe fantasizes about actual combat. He shouted, "Come on! Hurt each other!" When the enemy attacks itself, the blood bar is instantly emptied. Thinking of this, he giggled slyly, like a treacherous little fox. Smiling and laughing, his eyes fell on a magic staff in the portable space. That's right. I still have an A-level staff that I haven't identified yet. Xinghe didn't dare to take this kind of A-level staff to the trading center for appraisal. It would be troublesome if someone was watching. Although there is no doubt about the credit of Yida Trading Center, it is better to be careful. After all, money touches people's hearts. Afterwards, he bought another identification book on the tablet, which cost 1.5 million federal coins. He was in pain again. Appraisal is a general-purpose profession, and it can be learned with a level limit of level 0. As for why it is so expensive, it is because after professionals learn this skill, they can engage in a profession, appraiser. After learning appraisal, the appraiser can get back the cost after appraising 300 items. It can be said that it is also worth the money. Same process as just now. The identification skill book that was photographed was quickly sent to Xinghe. This time he was very calm. After learning the appraisal, he patiently waited for the skill to evolve. Ding! The identification technique automatically evolves into the Blood Demon Eye under the research of Blood Mage. Hearing the familiar system sound, Xinghe showed a gratified smile on his face. Sure enough, I am Xinghe Gren. But I really believe in the system, okay? He smiled and looked at the skill bar. When his eyes fell on the skill icon, the detailed information of the new skill appeared in front of his eyes. God's Eye of Blood Demon, solve all mysteries and see through the essence of things. Under the gaze of God's eyes, items have a 10% chance of being transformed into blood equipment. It can be used in conjunction with the skill Blood Hunting to view target information at the cost of consuming HP. The higher the target level, the more HP will be consumed. Is it still possible? Xinghe carefully read the skill introduction word by word. If he guessed correctly, the new skill after evolution can still be combined with Blood Hunting. It was the first time he encountered such a skill. Even when he was in school, he had never seen a similar situation in books. And this new skill, when identifying items, can also convert items into bloodline equipment. This is simply a magical skill. You must know that countless professionals, when encountering dropped equipment with excellent attributes, do not match their profession. In an instant, there was a feeling of wanting to reincarnate and change careers. Whenever I dream back in the middle of the night, tears will wet the pillow. You must know that a good piece of equipment has a chance to change your destiny. Seeing others become stronger, I still look like a salted fish. I guess I want to die. He couldn't wait to take out the unidentified A-level staff from his portable space, and identified it with Blood Demon God's Eye. God's Eyes. Xinghe's eyes fell on the staff, and he gave a low drink. The instant the skill was activated, the pupils turned blood red. There seems to be a sea of blood in his eyes, and the monstrous sea of blood carries infinite power. A world seemed to be born in his eyes at this moment. Scarlet light shot out from the bloody eyes and landed on the staff. The originally dusty staff turned into a red-hot iron rod, with a dazzling red gold light flowing from the staff. Sacred and inviolable. A minute later, the unidentified A-level staff began to show its true colors slowly. The body of the staff became 70 or 80 centimeters long as an ordinary crutch. The tip of the staff turned into a blood claw, and the blood claw held a blood ruby in its palm. Xinghe looked at the civilized stick staff in his hand in amazement, and his attention fell on the detailed introduction of the item. Blood grip, level A, category, staff level requirement, level 50 effect, HP plus 3000, strength plus 200, agility plus 200 durability, 100/100 subsidiary effect, blood armor, convert magic power into life value, form a blood-colored armor on the body surface, which can reduce the enemy's attack by 30%, and the movement speed will be reduced by 50% during the duration of the blood armor subsidiary effect, blood hand, call out the blood hand from the target ground, restraining the target for 1.5 seconds. Subsidiary effect, regeneration, increase the recovery speed of HP by 5%. High numerical attribute bonuses and dense equipment effects. Xinghe's eyes were so busy. This staff called Blood Grip is different from the garbage staff he exploded before. Not only the attribute bonus is high, but there are also 3 wand effects attached. Defense, control, recovery, every effect is tailor-made for him. 10% bloodline equipment conversion can make me meet. In the novel, I am the protagonist. Xinghe said happily. This blood demon God's Eye is indeed a system-optimized skill. Compared with the same series of skills, the effect of the skill is at the top level. Under the effect of God's Eye of the blood demon, the staff that was originally not suitable for Xinghe was directly transformed into blood equipment. This kind of powerful ability is beyond the imagination of ordinary people. It's a pity that bloodline equipment can only suit him. Otherwise, he can rely on this ability to earn him a few rounds. Becoming a billionaire is just around the corner. Pity. The level requirement for this staff is level 50, and I can't wear it yet. Blood Grip's appearance and attributes are top-notch. If he walks outside with this civilization stick in his hand, he will definitely look cool. It's just like those gentlemen in the Fog Country in the movies. Elegant and noble. At that time, those young ladies will definitely bow down under his jeans. Lustful for a moment, Xinghe wiped off the drool from the corner of his mouth, and reluctantly put the staff back into the portable space. After Xinghe changed jobs, the capacity of his portable space is also different from that of ordinary people. With infinite space, he doesn't need to think about it at all. When storing items in the portable space, the items are placed in a grid in the space. Long-handled weapons like staffs are the most troublesome. It takes up a lot of space for no reason. Such a setting is often criticized by professionals. But there is no way, this is the eternal rule of Blue Star, and no one can change it. Today is full of harvest again. By the way, I haven't tried the skill combination effect of Blood Demon God's Eye and Blood Hunting yet. For this kind of non-combat skill, when trying it, there is no venue requirement at all. It just so happens that the privacy of the private room is very good. I'll try it now. Xinghe, who was looking forward to the combo effect, licked his lips in anticipation. Chapter 17. Xinghe, who put away the grip of blood, was very curious about another effect of God's Eye of Blood Demon. He first turned on the blood hunting state, and densely packed blood energy ribbons of different thicknesses appeared in his sight. Then he focused his attention on the skill icon of God's Eye of Blood Demon. The bloody eyes reappeared. When he was in the God Eye state, he set his eyes on a thicker blood energy ribbon. His mind hurt, and his health began to decrease. There was a sea of blood tumbling in my mind, and a European-style carved retro mirror slowly emerged on the surface of the sea. Various patterns are carved on the gold frame of the mirror. Countless heroic spirits in armor and robes. A savage beast roaring towards the sky. They were all struggling and sinking in the boundless sea of blood. At the top of the mirror is an eerie smiling blood mage. In his eyes, gods and beasts are all playthings in his hands. Damn it! It's such a tall mirror. Xinghe exclaimed, thinking of his future, it might be like this blood mage. Suddenly, a sense of pride arose in his heart. After the mirror was fully exposed, a figure appeared after the mirror surface fluctuated for a while. In the mirror there is only picture, no sound. The figure was wearing a grey and black robe, and was fiddling with the alchemy equipment on the table in a secret room. Under the dazzled operation, a bottle of potion with golden light appeared in his hand. Name unknown, Master of Alchemy, Leave 90, Title, Pure Gold Alchemy, Touching Stones into Gold, Perfection. After the occupation and level, a long string of levels made Xinghe dumbfounded. My dear, who is this master? What he didn't expect was that such a small place like Hypo City would hide such a high-level professional. Xinghe's mind suddenly appeared, the big hermit is hidden in the city. Before he finished marveling, the accident happened suddenly in the mirror. The alchemist noticed that someone seemed to be spying on him. Instinctively raised his head and looked at Xinghe. Puff! Xinghe felt a pain in his head, and opened his mouth to spit out a mouthful of blood. The alchemist just gave him a glare, and his health plummeted. His face became pale, cold sweat broke out from the shock on his back, and his whole body was dripping with sweat, as if he had been fished out of the water. It seems that the strong are not allowed to pry at will. My strength is still too weak, and I can't even withstand the eyes of the boss. Xinghe said in fear. If it weren't for his thick blood, maybe that one glance just now would have killed him. Xinghe lay on the sofa like a dead fish. After resting for an hour, most of his health was recovered. Getting up from the sofa, unwilling to give up, he planned to use his skills again to spy on some strong men in Hypo City. Driven by his curiosity, he wanted to know how far the senior professionals in Hypo City could go. He opened his eyes again, and his blood-red eyes fell on the blood energy ribbon that was only half as thick as before. Immediately after the mirror in the sea of blood reappeared, the surface of the mirror shook for a while, and a new figure appeared. A middle-aged man was praying to the God of Light in the church. The divine light of the God of Light softly sprinkled every corner of the church. The believers who come here to pray all have peaceful faces, quietly enjoying the glory of the Lord. Name unknown, Archbishop Guangming, Leave 70, title, Devout Believer, Guiding Light, Jealous of Evil. Just as Xinghe was watching with relish, Archbishop Guangming looked at him angrily. Open your mouth wide and yell at him loudly. Although there was no sound, Xinghe couldn't hear what he said. But from the shape of his mouth, it can be seen that he shouted the word evil devil. With a headache, Xinghe forcibly disconnected again, and his consciousness returned to real life. Weak to the point of lying on the sofa, Xinghe concluded, could it be that my strength is too low? How come these big guys can detect my existence? Next time I won't be so reckless. He looked at his blood bar with a wry smile, because he accidentally became anemic again. Reluctant to take drugs, he chose to slowly recover from his injuries. After all, it's not in a state of battle now, and blood medicine can still be saved as much as possible. Although this blood demon God's Eye is easy to use, it is an out-and-out blood-consuming household. In just 10 seconds, his blood bar was almost exhausted. Moreover, it is also necessary to prevent the peeping target from finding him and launching a mental attack on him. This Hypo City is a small coastal city, so the targets of my random snooping are all people who can find me. It's really unlucky. Xinghe is miserable now. He wanted to try new skills, but he was made anemic by himself. It seems that in the future, in addition to accumulating life points, I will try to increase the speed of life recovery as much as possible. Only in this way can we solve the problem that certain skills require continuous consumption of health. Xinghe looked at the skill bar and lowered his head in thought. After thinking clearly, another question arose in his mind. Besides, when I spied on that Archbishop Guangming just now, why was he so angry, and opened his mouth to call me a demon? I've never seen him. Xinghe recalled that the unnamed Archbishop Guangming looked at him as if he had killed his father and enemy. A knight or priest at the level of an archbishop is usually stationed in a provincial capital. In a city like Hypo City, the bishop should be at the top of the church. He, an archbishop, appeared here for no reason. It must be because of something happened in Hypo City. Thinking of this, he took out his mobile phone, opened the news client, and switched to the hot list interface. It is at the top of the list. The blood loss incident is unknown to the people of Hypo City. His eyes fell on the news text again. Emperor capital of Hypo Society, November 25. On the afternoon of June 10, a vicious incident occurred in our city that made the whole city panic. With such a panic incident, it's no wonder that it attracts bigwigs at the archbishop level to settle in Hypo City. Seeing this, Xinghe stared. Based on the information in the news report, he began to analyze it. FK, isn't this when I was leveling in People's Park? The time period of deducting the life value and the time when I started blood hunting are highly coincident. Then my blood hunt will not only deduct my HP, but also the target's HP. I don't know if the Archbishop saw himself on the other side of the mirror just now. Xinghe became anxious after analyzing the impact of the panic event in the city. I never thought that using a skill at will would turn me into a terrorist. What should I do if I am targeted by the authorities? Surrender yourself? Tell them he's the blood mage that's terrorizing the city? Thinking of this, Xinghe quickly shook his head and rejected this unreliable idea. He has just been reborn for 18 years, so he doesn't want to send it away so soon. Chapter 18. Terrorists, what's the big deal? In this era of changing jobs for all, everyone has the opportunity to gain the power to change the world. Even Yan Kingdom, which is known as a simple and honest country, has had several vicious big devils in the past. From small adventure groups to large conglomerate chaebol, they all compete for interests, and there are constant conflicts all year round. There are often frictions between countries. He is a mage who is inexplicably fanatical about blood. Even if he is determined to be a heretic by the Light God sect, there are still organizations willing to accept him. In this world, it is not only the Guangming God sect that dominates. But his blood mage profession is the only profession in this world. Once exposed, it is inevitable that others will covet it. Lock yourself up and serve a family. At that time, I will become the donkey of the production team. This kind of professional was captured and used as a donkey. Xinghe was in the orphanage when he was a child, but he heard a lot. He thought that he might fall into such a miserable situation, and he couldn't help shivering. People are afraid of being famous and pigs are afraid of being strong. Before you have absolute strength, you are in the eyes of others, and you are fat to your mouth. Before becoming famous, trying to keep a low profile is the kingly way. At this time, Xinghe is in an unprecedented crisis. Should I find an opportunity to sneak into the church and collect a drop of the archbishop's blood? Find another hidden place and slowly curse him to death. Percentage of blood consumption, even grinding him will kill him. Even if he has enough blood bottles, I have to make him drink to death. Xinghe is not the kind of person who sits and waits to die. When encountering danger, the best choice is to kill them immediately. Nip the danger in the bud, and the trouble will become less and less. He started pacing in the private room. Think carefully about the feasibility of your plan. He is not a man who likes to kill wantonly. But anyone who wants to murder him, he will definitely fight back violently, making his enemies regret being enemies with him. He pondered carefully whether there were loopholes in his plan. Wrong. Xinghe stopped suddenly and froze in place. I seem to have forgotten that there is still a fortune teller in this world. Bright God sect must have a very high-level fortune teller. If I curse rashly, the fortune teller will definitely catch me. Xinghe scratched his hair a few times, distressed by the major loopholes in this plan. No. I have to calm down. He tried to take a deep breath to calm himself down. Xinghe, who knows well that troubles can happen if he is in a mess, understands this truth best. Think carefully, am I thinking too much? Even if the other party came here for this matter, he hasn't found himself yet, which means that he lacks enough information. And now that I have blood asylum, as long as I don't blow up my identity, who can find out about myself? I'm just scaring myself. Xinghe, who figured out the connection, suddenly relaxed from his tense heart. Only then did he realize. Even adding the age of his previous life, he is still too young. Never experienced a life-threatening crisis like this. In his previous life, he was just an ordinary worker, so how could he talk about life and death crisis? The biggest crisis is that the credit card is about to expire, and I may be on the list of dishonest persons. And this life? He is still a fresh graduate. Although he is also one of thousands of professionals. But if he hadn't awakened and changed his profession to blood mage, he would still live his life in a normal way. I haven't been chased yet, so I'm so flustered. If he is really hunted down in the future, wouldn't it mean that he hasn't come yet, and he will be scared out of his wits? I'm the only blood mage in this world. I'm going to be a big boss in the future, how can I be so useless? You can't be so flustered when things happen in the future, but it's really out of style. Xinghe is also aware of his own flaws. He secretly made up his mind that he must get rid of this defect in the future. Who cares? Since the crisis has not yet come. Just do your best to strengthen your own strength, why bother to think so much? As long as I work hard to upgrade, my health will increase significantly. Plus equipment armed to the teeth. When the time comes to stand still and be beaten, I'm afraid no one will be able to beat me to death. Xinghe took a deep breath and made up his mind to be an undead Xiaoqiang. After thinking about everything, he walked out of the private room and rushed to the Yida Trading Center building. He wants to dispose of the treasures obtained in the Jade Dragon secret realm in this trading building. Turn it into resources that can enhance your own strength as soon as possible. The trading building is a 5-story quaint wooden building. The roof is covered with glazed yellow tiles, with a solemn and generous configuration. A plaque engraved with the words Genbeo Pavilion hangs high on the door beam. Xinghe walked into the lobby on the first floor of the trading building. There are street stalls everywhere, and the quality of things varies. If you want to pick up the leak, here is a good choice. But Xinghe was not in the mood today, and rushed to get rid of a large number of items that were useless to him. He didn't stop at the public trading hall on the first floor, and took the elevator directly to the top floor of the building. After arriving at the top floor, a wooden cabinet at the front desk stands at the door to verify the identity of the visitor. Screen out some hillies who strayed in here. Because the customers are deserted in recent days. So when Xinghe approached the counter staff, he was still dozing off. The staff heard the footsteps of someone approaching and thought it was the leader who came to inspect. Quickly, he stood up so fast that he didn't have time to wipe the saliva from the corner of his mouth, and said in a daze, "Hello, leader." Xinghe was stunned for a moment. "Brother, I'm here to sell items on consignment." The staff squinted their eyes and looked at the handsome Xinghe. He caught a trace of childishness on Xinghe's face. I guessed that he was a graduate who had just changed jobs. The staff waved their hands impatiently. "For students, just go to the lobby on the first floor to sell them. We, Yida, will waive booth fees for fresh graduates." Seeing that Xinghe is not the big client he dreamed of, he wanted to drive Xinghe away with some disappointment, and was going to continue sleeping on his return sleep. Seeing his attitude, Xinghe was not only not angry, but also felt happy. "Yes. I am a student who has just changed jobs. Who would have thought that he is the terrorist who caused the panic incident not long ago?" GGG. Xinghe covered his mouth and started laughing. But within a second, he realized that his laughter was not right, so he quickly stopped himself from continuing to laugh. He muttered, "Why do I smile like an old devil?" In a good mood, Xinghe took out the bronze VIP card from his pocket. When the staff saw it, their expression turned into a flattering smile without a trace of hindrance in an instant. "Hello, distinguished guest, are you here to sell things? Please come with me." Compared with the attitude of the staff at this time, they are completely different. However, Xinghe didn't care. In his opinion, the staff's ability to watch people order food is the norm in the service industry. After all, no one wants to waste their limited time on a poor ghost. He said casually, "Then you lead the way." Chapter 19. The staff led the way ahead, and he looked back carefully at Xinghe's position from time to time. To prevent himself from walking too fast, Xinghe was left behind by himself. He smiled obsequiously and said, "Your distinguished guest is really young and promising. Is this the first time you've come here? I haven't seen you before." As an old fritter here, he remembers the face of every VIP who comes here to trade. Xinghe followed behind him, looking at the surrounding environment. In the trading hall on the top floor, there are small grids with excellent privacy. The small grid was blocked by a curtain, so it was impossible to see clearly what was going on inside. The antique decoration style makes people very comfortable. You can still smell the non-pungent sandalwood scent in your nose. I heard the staff leading the way asking myself. Xinghe replied, "Yes, I have never been here before." The smiles on the faces of the staff were even wider. This is a new customer who has not been developed yet, so he has to treat him well. He said with a smile, "Guest, my surname is Niu, so I'm Lao Niu. I have been working here for a long time, and the appraisers I introduced are very reliable. When you come here in the future, just find me." "Okay, since you say that, let's see if the service satisfies me." Xinghe nodded and smiled. He is here to sell things, and he can find anyone. The question is whether the price given can satisfy him. Not long after leaving, Xinghe was arranged in a VIP room. The old cow brewed a pot of good Dahong Bao for him and asked him to rest here for a while. 5 minutes later, Lao Niu returned to the VIP room with an aging old man. The old man was not polite to Xinghe, and said bluntly after sitting down, "I heard from Maverick that the customer wants to sell something. In order not to waste your time, let's start directly." The old cow beside the old man was afraid that the old man's attitude would make Xinghe unhappy. Lao Niu trotted to Xinghe's side, whispered in his ear, "Old Wang has such a temper, but he is the best appraiser in our trading house, I hope you will forgive me." After hearing this, Xinghe smiled and waved his hands, saying that he didn't care. "It's okay, I like such direct people." Seeing Xinghe's performance, Wang Lao was also a little surprised. His attitude has annoyed many people before. If it weren't for his excellent skills, he would have been driven away by the trading house long ago. Xinghe was so young that he could bear his arrogance. The evaluation of the young man in his heart couldn't help but be a little higher. Elder Wang's tone also softened. "Vipkin, you should just take out your belongings." Xinghe nodded in response, seeing that the VIP room was quite spacious. He doesn't have to worry that his things won't fit. They're all gadgets, as long as Mr. Wang can give you a suitable price. While talking, Xinghe waved his hand. A dazzling light flashed in the VIP room. Xinghe's harvest in the Jade Dragon secret realm, except for his own equipment, is displayed on the precious woolen carpet. In a blink of an eye, there are more than 30 pieces. Except for the place where a few people were standing, the rest of the place was filled with items. Most of them are sea-level equipment, shining with green light, filling the entire room. The astonished faces of Wang Lao and Lao Niu were all horrified by green. What attracted the attention of the two was that there were 7 or 8 streaks of blue light mixed in with the green light. That is a rare B-level equipment. The VIP really surprised this old man. Elder Wang looked at his feet, and his eyelids twitched with the equipment in the room. There are more items in this room than the inventory of their trading house. Although the grade of sea-level equipment is not very high, it is a hard currency in the market. And the few pieces of B-level equipment inside are generally used for advertising and attracting customers. The boy who can take out so many items in one breath must have ransacked his own warehouse, right? If this is really a prodigal, will his family go to the trading house to make trouble? Under multiple worries, worry appeared on Wang Lao's face. I wondered whether I should accept it, this prodigal son's product. Lao Niu keenly noticed the sadness on Wang Lao's face and knew what he was worried about. Carefully leaning into his ear, he whispered, "Old Wang, I've just verified it. His name is Xinghe, a student who just changed his job and graduated this year. With just one transaction, I became a bronze VIP." What? Elder Wang was also surprised, he had never seen such a young bronze VIP himself. To put it bluntly, people at this age with bronze VIP cards borrowed them from their elders. Since this boy is the bronze VIP himself, he doesn't have to worry about the source of these items. He had traded in the trading center before, and his family hadn't come to look for work. It means that this kid has a mine at home, and these things may not be considered good things in the eyes of others. After discussing with Lao Niu for a while, Wang Lao and Lao Niu began to seriously evaluate the items placed on the ground. Wang Lao and Niu's pupils were covered with a layer of white light, which was the appearance of having activated the appraisal skill. It's just that the white light in Wang Lao's eyes is much stronger than Lao Niu's. The eyes seem to flow with milk. It shows that the level of his identification technique is not generally high. The two of Xinghe were patient, and they were not in a hurry. Quietly sipping tea. But he didn't know that at this time, in the eyes of Wang Lao, he had become a prodigal son. About 20 minutes passed, and the two finally finished the appraisal. Both of them looked excited. The tired and sweaty Mr. Wang didn't even have time to wipe the sweat off his brow. He said with a gentle attitude, "Young Master Yat, the things you brought are all high-quality goods. The price of each of these C-level equipment is 30,000 higher than the market price. As for the B-level equipment, how about putting it in our trading house for auction? We don't charge a cent for the handling fee. The guarantee we give is the highest price in the industry, just to make friends with Yeshao. Are you satisfied?" Seeing Wang Lao's sincere appearance, Xinghe said without hesitation, "Yes. As for the value of these items, there is an app on the mobile phone that can display the transaction price in the last 3 months. Before he came here, he had roughly estimated the value of these items. So Mr. Wang was telling the truth, and what he was quoted was indeed a friendship price. He liked Mr. Wang's style of doing things very much, so he agreed directly without ink marks. "Then we've made a deal, Maverick, go make a contract. Bring the trading machine again, and we'll make the payment now." Elder Wang became more and more satisfied with Xinghe, he admired this bold prodigal son very much. "Wait a minute, I still have something to sell here," Xinghe said slowly. He raised his hand to stop the old cow who was about to gallop out. Snapped. With a wave of his hand, he threw a skill book on the table. "It's that angel's blessing." Chapter 20. Yida Trading Center. VIP Room. Wang Lao and Lao Niu looked at the skill book on the table in horror. Staring at him with wide eyes, he was reluctant to open them. The reaction of the two of them was also within Xinghe's expectation. Every time a passive skill book appears on the market, it will cause a big shock. The reason why Xinghe dragged to the end was to throw out Angel Blessing. It is because, for the previous equipment, the price that Mr. Wang offered made him very satisfied. He is also reciprocating. Old Wang shook his lips, and it took him a long time to make a sound. "Yat, young master Yat, is this a passive skill book?" Xinghe nodded solemnly, "That's right." After getting an affirmative answer, Elder Wang felt dizzy for a while. With a sway, he was supported by the old cow on the side in time. Xinghe was also taken aback by Mr. Wang, and asked with concern, "Mr. Wang, are you okay? Are you too tired? Why don't you just forget about it today and trade another day?" "No. No. No. Never. Just trade today. Wang Lao was very excited, and repeatedly rejected the suggestion to trade in another day. He took a sip of the tea brought to him by the old cow, and said slowly, "Sorry, young master yet. I lost my composure and scared you. This passive skill book is a treasure, and it's rare to see it in Hypo City for several years." He made a decision in his heart. Even if this young master yet is a prodigal son, he will leave this skill book today. If you miss this village, there will be no such store. Young master yet, as long as you can sell this skill book to our trading house, the conditions are up to you. Wang Lao walked up to Xinghe and held his hand tightly, as if he was afraid that he would run away. This skill book should be exchanged. Xinghe hesitated. Rare things are more expensive. He also knows the preciousness of the passive skill book, and it would be a waste to sell it for money. Its value cannot be measured simply by money. No problem, as long as you are satisfied. This angel's blessing is a priest's skill. I believe that the light god sect will give you a satisfactory condition. As for contacting the other party, let us, Yida, do it. Mr. Wang is full of smiles, and looks like he will never let you suffer. Then please get old. Xinghe was also very satisfied with handing over the skill book to such a professional hands as Mr. Wang. Xiao Niu, take Ye Xiao's bronze card to upgrade it, make an exception and upgrade to a gold card. Elder Wang turned his head and ordered. Yes. Lao Niu respectfully took the VIP card from Xinghe, and exited the VIP room to upgrade the card for him. Xinghe was also surprised, only the transaction of over 1 billion can get the gold VIP card. Wasn't it a joke that I was promoted to gold VIP the second time I came here? During the waiting time, Wang Lao and Xinghe introduced the role of the gold VIP card. Ye Xiao, this gold card is not only a status symbol. You can also borrow 1 billion federal currency from our Yida unconditionally, and there is no interest. In addition, you can also let the 70 level offering in the trading bank make a shot for you. Xinghe was a little stunned by the benefits of the gold card. Leaving aside the 1 billion interest-free loan, just letting a 70 level boss make a move is something that cannot be bought with money. Leveling, copying, revenge. There are so many benefits. After talking about the benefits of the gold card, Elder Wang asked, "Since young master yet, you plan to exchange it with a skill book. I don't know what you want to change." "I want to exchange this passive skill book for a space-based skill." Xinghe said his request without thinking. When he came, he had already thought about it. In case one day, I accidentally reveal my identity. When being hunted down by various righteous bosses, the chances of escaping will be greater. After all, no matter how fast a movement skill is, it cannot match the escape speed of a space skill. Oh? Spatial skills. Elder Wang frowned when he heard Xinghe's request. He wondered, young master yet, although this passive skill book is precious, but this spatial skill. Is the value of this passive skill book not comparable to space skills? Xinghe's knowledge is learned in school and online. He really doesn't know the specific value of some rare and precious items. Young master yet, you are right. The rarity of space skills is even more precious than passive skills. It's okay to talk about space-type attack skills, but it's hard to say about space-type movement skills. After all, this kind of life-saving skill will be swept away by the major forces once it appears. The richer and more powerful a boss is, the more he will cherish his life. Therefore, space escape skills can only be seen in high-level auction houses. That is to say, Mr. Wang has said so much, but in a word, the value of space skills is unimaginably high. It's not something that Xinghe's current level can touch. Although this passive skill book by Xinghe is very precious, there is still a certain gap compared with space skills. This passive skill book by Xinghe is only the basic skill of LV. Even if it is the rich and powerful Guangming God sect, it is impossible to exchange with Xinghe. In this case, let's deposit it in your bank first. Whether you can get what you want depends on luck. Xinghe pondered. It seems that I think about space skills a little too simply. It's better to change to a life-saving idea. Wait until you have enough accumulation in your future, and then exchange for space skills. Young master yet, if you want to meet your requirements, you don't only have spatial skills. Mr. Wang has an experienced eye, and he has read countless people. It was obvious at a glance that Xinghe wanted spatial skills. If your purpose is to have enough speed to escape at a critical moment, with your passive skill book, you can exchange for a good escape method. What do you think of my idea? Elder Wang asked tentatively. Escape skills. Yezing's eyes lit up, it was the first time he had heard of this kind of skill. How fast is this escapism skill? Yezing asked. Although it's not as good as space skills, it can achieve the effect of Tianya within a short distance. But it does exactly what you want. Under the space skills, he is the first skill to save life. Every customer who has bought from us says yes. Wang Lao patted his chest and assured Yezing. That's fine. Just please give me another book of escape. Yezing's purpose was mainly to escape for his life. Excluding defensive skills that wait to die in place is a helpless choice. Running fast enough is his first choice. Chapter 21. Seeing the satisfaction on Yezing's face, Wang Lao's old face also smiled into a chrysanthemum. Young master yet, don't worry about it. We at Yida Trading Co., Limited say one thing and one thing. It only takes half a month, and I will definitely be able to exchange it for you, a satisfying escape method. Good. Then please get old. Yezing smiled cheerfully. This trip to Yida Center was worthwhile, except for earning a large sum of federal currency. He also got advice from Wang Lao to choose a suitable escape method. In this way, my hanging heart will be at ease. After getting the gold VIP card upgraded by Lao Nu, Yezing bid farewell to the two and left the trading building. However, he did not leave Yida Center. He walked to Yida Shopping Center and bought a lot of good things. Most of them are commodities that replenish life. For him who is anemic, there is nothing that can make him feel more at ease than sufficient health. I bought a lot of blood bottles of all kinds and different grades. Wang Lao saw his extreme desire to save his life. He recommended a lot of props to him. For example, the teleportation scroll can reach thousands of miles away in a city with a teleportation array in only 10 seconds, and the price is 5 million federal coins. The invisibility scroll, after using it, can make oneself in a stealth state within half an hour. Only when an attack is launched, can one expose oneself in advance, and the price is 2 million federal coins. Strong wall barrier, after use, it can make Fang Yuan invincible within a range of 10 for 10 minutes. Before the barrier is broken, any attack cannot be broken. The only flaw is that it cannot be moved. The price is 5 million federal coins. For Yezing, Fedcoin is a string of numbers. With the ability of blood hunting, finding dropped items in the wild is as easy as drinking water. In the end, with a wave of his hand, he proudly left about 20 million federal coins in Yida Shopping Center. When they left the shopping center, they received a collective farewell from all the staff, and the platoon was extremely large. The manager of the shopping center took the lead in shouting, "Welcome young master yet. Come next time." All the employees were full of smiles and formed a mighty team, sending Yezing outside the mall, waving their arms to watch him leave. The only thing that confuses them is that young master Yat, who is such a local tyrant, ended up leaving in a taxi. Is this the Loki of the rich? Yezing had a good night's rest after returning to the dormitory. In order to improve myself as soon as possible. Early in the morning, he rushed to the professional guild again, looking for information to improve himself. After taking a taxi and getting off at the gate of the guild, I was shocked by the sight in front of me. There was a sea of people at the entrance of the guild, and it was very lively. But the strange thing is that the people surrounding the guild gate are more or less wounded. Some are in wheelchairs, some are on crutches, and some are wrapped in bandages and become mummies. The banners held by everyone were very conspicuous. Guild fraud. Selling fake secret realms. Unscrupulous guild. Return my hard-earned money. Throw it away in the hospital and leave it alone. Compensate us for medical expenses. Yezing, who didn't know the truth, walked into the crowd. Find a mummy at random, pat on the back, "Hello, what's going on here?" The mummy turned around stiffly and looked at Yezing. After a while, he said in a low voice, "Young man, I can see that you are a fresh graduate. Fortunately, your rank is low, so you didn't catch up with the tragedy in the city a few days ago." Yezing was taken aback. The tragedy he was talking about, wouldn't it be an avalanche incident? Not only has he experienced it, but he is also the chief culprit in the tragedy. Yeah, I'm lucky too. Yezing nodded without denying. If people knew that he came out of the secret realm intact, it might bring him unnecessary trouble. Everyone came out with serious injuries, only you are safe? There is nothing tricky in it, who can believe it? Young man, you don't know. When the Jade Dragon secret realm was just discovered, Everyone thought it was an undeveloped virgin land. Almost all the professionals above level 30 and below level 40 in Hypo City went there excitedly. The purpose is to take the first kill of the boss monster in the secret realm, and get the first kill drop. But who knew, there was a trap. Everyone was wiped out in the end, woo woo woo. Mummy explained the reason of the matter to Xinghe in detail, and even sobbed at the end. It is conceivable that the avalanche in the secret realm cast a huge shadow on them. Is it so miserable? Xinghe feigned surprise, took out a tissue from his pocket, and handed it to the mummy to wipe his wet eyes. He was indeed surprised, and he did not expect that the avalanche in the secret realm would cause such serious consequences. Most of the damage done by the white jade bone dragon was eaten by him, yet Yue was able to cause such tragic consequences. He was also a little unexpected. These Level 30 professionals are too brittle, right? That's right. We are just too miserable, so everyone discussed it and came to the guild to ask for an explanation. Mummy said sadly. Yet, when encountering such unlucky things, we really should ask for an explanation. Xinghe echoed repeatedly, trying his best to hide his guilty conscience. I didn't expect that I would cause such a big disaster, and let the professional guild take the blame for me. He was also very sorry in his heart. It is planned to find an opportunity in the future to compensate the professional guild. Then how much compensation are you discussing with the guild? Xinghe asked curiously. Of course, the more compensation, the better. The mummy hooked Xinghe's neck, and said close to his ear, I heard that our representatives discussed with the guild and compensated for some equipment. After all, we people are not short of money, what we lack is the equipment that suits our profession. Can they agree? Xinghe wondered. It's okay to pay for some federal currency, but it may be a little difficult to pay for equipment. After all, equipping something like this is all about fate. Whether there is suitable equipment depends on whether there is anyone in the market. Even the rich and powerful professional guild cannot have equipment in inventory that can satisfy so many claimants. It's still appropriate to ask for money. If you don't have suitable equipment, will you still spend it here? Xinghe felt that their claims were somewhat unreasonable. Everyone's time for leveling is very precious. If you waste time on claims every day, your rank may be pulled away by your peers. Once the time for trade union compensation is prolonged, the loss outweighs the gain. It's better to ask for money. Chapter 22. Hear the question raised by Xinghe. Mummy laughed triumphantly, brother, you don't know something. The guild has agreed to our request. What? Where did the guild get so much equipment? Xinghe was taken aback. The guild had so much equipment on hand, it was completely against common sense. I didn't believe it at first. But just yesterday, news suddenly came that someone from Yida had sold a large amount of equipment. The guild paid for this batch of equipment and is going to compensate us. In the deep voice of Mummy, one can clearly hear the uncontrollable excitement. FK. Xinghe blurted out his surprise, and he seemed to realize something. The equipment purchased by the guild on the market, wouldn't it be the ones they sold themselves? Brother, are you surprised? I didn't believe it at first. Mummy proudly said. He didn't expect to protest with the crowd, and he could get equipment compensation. Since it's all over, why are you still hanging around here? Xinghe asked with some headaches. Isn't it because the guild doesn't have enough money? We're negotiating with Yida. Mummy in a good mood, patiently explained to Xinghe. Thank you, brother, for explaining to me, brother, I will go in first. After figuring out the reason, Xinghe bid farewell to the mummy and entered the guild hall. As soon as Xinghe stepped into the guild hall, he saw a deserted place. It was completely different from when he came here before. He walked straight in for a while. Then heard a noise. Lao Nu, can the price be lowered? Director Song, it's not like you don't know the grade of our batch of goods. The price really can't go any lower. Lao Nu, you also know that if I can't negotiate the price of this batch of goods, this time I will definitely make it worse. Xinghe saw the white and fat middle-aged man, bargaining with Lao Nu with a bitter expression on his face. He had seen a fat middle-aged man, named Supervisor Song. The person I met when I came back from the car with Chairman Su. My Director Song, you are my regular customer. Do you think I'll take advantage of the fire? I won't do this kind of one-shot deal. What I'm giving you this time is the biggest discount I can get. Lao Nu was dressed in a high-end custom-made suit, and he looked very handsome. Compared with the him Xinghe saw yesterday, he seemed like a different person. Well, Seeing what Lao Niu said, Director Song could only sigh helplessly. Seeing this scene, Xinghe felt that he had to do something. Cough cough cough. Xinghe coughed and interrupted the two arguing. Xinghe. Young master yet. When the two saw Xinghe, they greeted Xinghe together. Hearing each other's different names, the two looked at each other strangely. They were all surprised by each other, but they both knew Xinghe. What you are talking about is the compensation for equipment this time. I heard it outside. Xinghe said bluntly. He turned to look at Lao Niu. I don't know if the equipment for this transaction is the one I sold in your bank. Lao Niu respectfully said, yes, young master yet. Lao Niu's answer immediately surprised Supervisor Song, who was beside him. What is the origin of that young man that President Su met in the secret realm? He even got rid of dozens of pieces of equipment in Yida casually. Xinghe said indifferently, Lao Niu, do you think it is possible to reduce my share by 20% as a discount for the guild? The old cow looked embarrassed. Young master yet, are you sure you want to do this? He knew what the 20% share was, and that was a full 15 million federal currency. Xinghe solemnly said, President Su saved me in the avalanche incident, so I should give back to the guild. Lao Niu nodded, since young master Ye has decided what to do, then let's do it this way. When Director Song heard the conversation between the two, he didn't react for a while, and was stunned. Lao Niu looked at him in a daze, and chuckled lightly, Director Song, thank you, young master yet. The C-level and B-level equipment this time are all made by Ye Xiao. Only then did Director Song come to his senses, ran up to Xinghe, and bowed deeply, young master yet, on behalf of the guild, thank you for your help. Xinghe was startled by such a big gift, and quickly waved his hands, no, this is what I should do. After all, you saved my life. He is most guilty now, after all, only he knows that he is the chief culprit of this avalanche. He extended a helping hand to the guild this time, but he just wanted to change his mind. Director Song was even more moved when he saw Xinghe's modest appearance. This young master Yi's heart is simply too kind. This year's top 10 outstanding youths in Haipu City, I must convince the chairman to recommend Ye Xiao to be elected. Who can compare to the awareness that money is like dung at a young age? Director Song couldn't help but want to cry at this moment. This young master yet is his angel. After finalizing the price of the compensation items, Lao Niu hurried back to the trading house to go through the formalities. Director Song reported Xinghe's kindness to President Su. President Su also went downstairs to receive Xinghe with Director Song. Looking at Xinghe, who threw out 15 million federal coins without changing his face. President Su also couldn't help feeling emotional for this young man. Xinghe, I didn't expect you to give me such a big gift when we met for the second time. I really don't know how to thank you. Xinghe said modestly, this is what I should do. I also express my deep sympathy for the avalanche in the secret realm. This fee is nothing. Every time a few people praised him, his guilt deepened. Xinghe, is there anything you want to do when you come to the meeting today? Even if you bring it up, I will solve it for you. President Su said kindly. He is more and more satisfied with a promising young man like Xinghe. If there were more Yan kingdoms, there would be promising young people like Xinghe. Why should Yan Kingdom not be able to become stronger? For such a promising young man, the guild will give him great support. Su uncle, look at me at such a young age, I look like a newcomer who has just entered the society. It is still not clear about the development path after the job change. Xinghe looked sad. Career path unclear. President Su was surprised by Xinghe's question. For a young master like Xinghe, the family should pave the way for him. But seeing the sad look on his face, it didn't seem like a lie. Could this be a test given to him by the family? But the elders of the big family like to do it like this. This is quite normal in a big family. Thinking of this, President Su asked suspiciously, Xinghe, don't you think about going to university? In his opinion, for a mage like Xinghe, Mage University is also a good choice. There can be tailor-made development paths for mages. It must be able to meet Xinghe's needs. Xinghe was embarrassed when he heard President Su's suggestion, Uncle Su, I'm leave 35 now. President Su was speechless after hearing this. Because professionals above leave 18 in Yan country can no longer occupy university resources. Professionals above leave 18 can already rely on themselves. This kid doesn't look like he's under 20 years old, why is he at leave 35? What brand of chemical fertilizer did he grow up on? Chapter 23. The reason why Xinghe is embarrassed is because Yanguo is above leave 18 and cannot go to university. Going to the master university with his leave 35 level is completely bullying children. People's universities don't accept it at all. It's a complete waste of Yan country's educational resources. Generally speaking, for ordinary professionals, the growth of knowledge and level are matched with each other. Professionals like Xinghe whose leveling up is like riding a rocket and whose knowledge is still in high school are simply different. Su uncle, is there another way? Xinghe asked. President Su pondered for a moment. For professionals, everyone is unique. Since you have reached leave 35, the next road can only be taken by yourself. But for the road ahead, everyone has only one goal. That is to rise to leave 50, the title of Awakening Destiny. At that time, you will be a real title professional. Leave 50? Awakening title. It was also the first time for Xinghe to hear the title of Destiny, and he was very shocked. That's right, according to Blue Star's rules, in daily life, as long as you meet certain conditions, the system will also give you a certain title. None of that can affect your fundamentals. Only title of Destiny must be a professional title that can only be awakened if you get the task issued by the system when you are at leave 50. Professionals can only define their own development direction after receiving the title of Destiny. Since you have missed the university study before leave 18, your next goal is to upgrade to leave 50 as soon as possible. President Su said seriously. The reason why the title of Destiny is called Destiny is because it is the guiding light for professionals. In his opinion, for a giant baby of leave 35 like Xinghe, everything is superfluous now. Go directly to leave 50 and let's talk about it. When the time comes to awaken Destiny, the foggy career path will become clear. Okay, Uncle Su, I will listen to you and reach leave 50 as soon as possible. Xinghe is very grateful for his kind help to the guild today. Without President Su's guidance, he doesn't know how many years he would have wasted before leave 50. A mage who grows wildly like himself is very likely to develop into a wild mage. Once mistakes are made on the career path, no matter how strong the career of blood mage is, it can only be reduced to sewer in the end. Then Uncle Su, where can I go to level up faster? Taking advantage of the presence of the boss of the guild, Xinghe asked all the questions he wanted. If it weren't for the two major panic incidents in the city recently, the leader of the guild was a bit battered. How could he have time to stay in the guild? After all, the road to becoming a strong professional is endless. As long as you are a little slack, you will be surpassed by others. Big guys like the guild leader are also upgrading in the wild and brushing secret realms every day. There is no possibility that you will be caught by yourself, so patiently answer for yourself here. Is this fate? Xinghe thought happily. As for the upgrade location that is most suitable for you, I think this thing will help you. President Su looked at Xinghe with a smile, and took out a scroll from the portable space. Xinghe took the scroll curiously. After unfolding the scroll, it turned out to be a map. The above shows the area of provinces and cities around Hypo City. Also displayed on each area are many small dots of different colors. The dots represent different information such as secret realms, wild monsters, resources, etc. Moreover, it will update its own information in real time. Its help to professionals is immeasurable. Yeah, uncle, this gift of yours is too heavy. Xinghe held the magic map in his hand, feeling a little hot. He is a terrorist, but he has done two things that are sorry for the guild. Although it was all his unintentional actions, he still felt bad conscience. It should belong to you, such a young, kind, and promising young man. I'm already leave 75, and this map can only help professionals below leave 50. Instead of burying it in me, it's better to give it to you to play a greater role. Xinghe was so touched that he couldn't describe it without this map. He might just run around like a headless chicken. He bowed and said solemnly, then thank you Uncle Ye for your cultivation. If the guild is useful to me, Xinghe, just arrange it. President Su's eyes were full of admiration. He waved his hand and smiled and said, then don't waste your time here, go upgrade as soon as possible. Xinghe saluted again, Uncle Su, Director Song. Goodbye. He bid farewell to the two, turned and left the professionals guild. This trip to the guild was the one he gained the most. President Su looked at the back of Xinghe leaving, and murmured, I really saw the right person. I didn't expect him to help the guild solve their urgent needs. If the country had more youngsters like Xinghe, why wouldn't the country be prosperous? This time, the General Assembly's opinion on the handling of the Hypa branch is that they themselves will bear the compensation for this intelligence error. A certain degree of financial compensation will be provided to the professionals who were injured in this secret realm. But their professional guild is considered a non-profit organization in a certain sense, and its main business is to release tasks and collect a meager commission. Where is there so much money for compensation? At this critical moment, Xinghe appeared in time and solved the dilemma for them. Just as President Su was staring at Xinghe's leaving back. Behind President Su, Director Song, who had been waiting by the side without saying a word, asked in a low voice, "President, isn't it a little expensive to return the gift to young master yet?" President Su shook his head and sighed, "Everything in the world drinks and pecks, if we didn't save Xinghe that day. How about his return to us today?" He paused, and said with a smile, "Giving him the magic map is not only a thank you to him, but also an investment in him. When we are in danger again in the future, I believe he will make a move." Hearing Chairman Su's answer, Director Song's eyes were full of admiration. "President, you are really far-sighted." "Ha ha ha." President Su accepted the flattery, laughed triumphantly and turned to go upstairs. While going upstairs, he said, "Old Song, you have to accept the lesson this time. This time, the guild will take care of you and wipe your A. Next time you may not have such good luck, meeting someone like Xinghe. When exploring the secret realm in the future, keep your eyes open. Subordinates respectfully obey the instruction." Director Song bowed and bowed his head to accept it. He knew how much the guild had paid for him this time in order to resist the enormous pressure from the outside world. It was also his luck to meet a boss like President Su. He secretly decided in his heart that he must work cautiously in the future and devote his best efforts to the guild. Chapter 24. Hypa City No. 1 Middle School. Male Dormitory. After Xinghe returned from the guild, he studied the map he had obtained in the dormitory. After repeated research, he decided to leave Hypa City and go to the neighboring Gasua City to start his own path to leave 50. Just as he packed his luggage and was about to go out, suddenly there was a knock on the door. It's not yet the start of school, so it shouldn't be the freshman knocking on the door. It should not be the old man in charge of the dormitory. After giving him 2,000 federal currency, he promised to let me live for 2 months. Could it be that the school leaders found out that I was staying here and came to drive me away? Xinghe thought about it and could only think of this reason. Although he is now worth hundreds of millions. But for spending money, but has its own set of theories. Bike to the bar, the province should spend money, the money must be spent wisely. For accommodation and travel, Xinghe is alone, and he can save as much as he can. If he is kicked out by the school leaders this time, he will have to rent a house again. Thinking of the worst, Xinghe pulled on his slippers, put on his worn-out old man's shirt, and went to open the door. Open the dormitory door. Xinghe was a little surprised. Standing outside the door was a little Loli wearing a camisole and denim shorts. When Loli saw Xinghe, she narrowed her eyes and exposed her 2 canine teeth, and looked at him from head to toe with a look of satisfaction in her eyes. In Xinghe's memories, there were no such beautiful girls in school. He wondered, "You are Xinghe, Mage. Are you the genius sister Yutong said?" Loli said to herself. Who is Yutong? Xinghe didn't even know the Yutong in his mouth about the unfamiliar woman in front of him. You are still a noble person who forgets things. Sister Yutong was the one who gave you the information about the Jade Dragon secret realm when she was in the guild a few days ago. Loli said with a smile. Is her? It turned out that her name was Yutong. Xinghe came to a sudden. He has always kept a respectful distance from that charming lady. He doesn't want to approach such a smart woman at all. So, I don't know her name at all. Then why did you come to see me today? He and Yutong had only met a few times, so why would she arrange for someone to come find her today? My name is Jo Mu. Sister Yu called me here. After Loli Jo Mu reported her family, Xinghe subconsciously activated the blood demon god's eye. After consuming a certain amount of health, a trace of blood flashed in his eyes, which was imperceptible. Jo Mu's message appeared in Xinghe's mind. Jo Mu occupation, First Order of Destiny, Angel of the Holy Spirit level, leave 69 level, leave 30 life, 160,000 mana, 120,000 to 120,000 strength, 1,856 agility, 1,255 intelligence, 600 title, First Aid specialization, Indestructible, guardian angel after seeing her complete information. The corners of Xinghe's mouth curled up into a smile, this blood demon god's eye really did not disappoint him. With a Leave 35 petite dish, I can see the information of Leave 69 high-level knights clearly. It was also the first time he had seen a professional with the title of Destiny. It seems that the information obtained by Blood Demon God's Eye is displayed based on one's own cognition. When he first awakened his divine eyes, he could only roughly see the profession of the strong. But yesterday, after the president told him the road to destiny as a professional, he had the concept of the title of Destiny. This time when I used Blood Demon God's Eye again, the target's Destiny title was displayed. It's incredible. Such a petite and cute girl is actually a paladin. From his three-dimensional attribute, it can be seen that his intelligence attribute is low. It can be inferred from this that she is a paladin who prefers melee combat, rather than a intelligence paladin who specializes in divine arts. A melee female knight like her. Xingme's milk ride is inappropriate, and she likes to go up and fight hard with the enemy. Among female professionals, it is definitely a wonderful flower. Hey? She's a paladin. Xinghe suddenly realized. In other words, the noble Lady Yutong and the lowly Zhou Mu are both involved with the Guangming God sect? FK. Did they find out that I was a terrorist? Come directly to the door and prepare to torture me. Xinghe panicked, and forced his composure on his face. I'm sorry, I have to go out urgently. I'll talk about it when I come back. I won't accompany you today. He called it unlucky, as soon as he wanted to improve his strength, troubles came to him automatically. He thinks it's better to avoid the edge for now and run away. Ah! It's good to be strong at a young age. Sister Yu is right. Your resistance to beauties is really good. Seeing Xinghe's impatient expression, Zhou Mu became curious. She prides herself on being a beautiful woman. Seeing her beauty, Xinghe not only has no extra thoughts about her, but also wants to drive her away. Is this kid gay? So uninterested in beautiful women. Since you are in a hurry to go out, then I won't waste your time and just talk about the business. Our company is in the development stage now, and we want to attack gold-level forces. But the review organization rejected our application on the grounds that we discriminated against men. You are very lucky to be spotted by Sister Yu, the manager of our Rose company. You will join our company as the first male employee. Are you interested? Zhou Mu noticed the anxiety on Xinghe's face and knew that he really had something urgent to leave. Decided not to continue molesting the handsome guy, and directly explained his intentions to him. Become the first male employee of your Rose company. Xinghe opened his mouth wide, thinking that his ears were hallucinating. Rose company is a big company in Hypo City, and it only accepts female professionals. Today I suddenly came to the door and told myself that I want to be the only male employee in their company. Are you sure you're not kidding yourself? Such a plot, he has a familiar feeling, as if he has seen it somewhere. Thinking of the looks of Yutong and Zhou Mu, he is really a little excited. However, this may be a trap. They must want to bring themselves to the company before launching a siege on themselves. Snort. It must be the Black Widow base there. They also underestimate themselves too much. Xinghe is not an animal that only thinks from the lower body. Under this kind of temptation, he still clearly distinguishes between S*X and life. But I can't reject them decisively, as this will make me feel guilty and arouse their suspicion. He decided to hang around a few words, and then pretended to refuse helplessly. This makes him appear to be much more normal. How about the treatment? Xinghe had made up his mind and asked calmly. Treatment? Of course it's good. Our Rose company is a company that many people dream of joining. The main business of the company is to serve female professionals. We don't work on shifts. Except for accompanying female customers to level up and play secrets, the rest of the time is arranged by ourselves. Every Saturday and Sunday, we also have a company pool party. The monthly salary is based on the after-tax 100,000 federal currency as the basic salary, and there are also bonuses. Sometimes you can keep the tips from customers. He spoke proudly about his company's treatment. Lifting his snow-white gooseneck, Xinghe could even see his nostrils. He said with disdain in his heart, I don't believe any man would refuse the treatment offered by Sister Yu. Chapter 25. Gudong. After Xinghe listened carefully to Zhou Mu's treatment, he couldn't help swallowing. This treatment? Is this really hiring? It's too comfortable to be an employee of Rose Company. Xinghe had already imagined a pool party in his mind. Sun, sand, bikinis, big waves. Xinghe. Come play with us. Hee hee. Countless girls with big waves of various skin colors are waving to him. If I really entered the company, wouldn't I have fallen into heaven? Xinghe's thoughts were flying to the sky at this time, and the corners of his mouth were drooling. Seeing Xinghe's moving appearance, Zhou Mu decided to strike while the iron was hot, and then bewitched, is there any need to think about it? You are the first male employee of our Rose Company, such an opportunity is in front of you, don't miss it. As a rare silver company in Hypo City, our Rose Company is equipped with various buffs, allowing you to upgrade like a rocket. Join the Rose Company, and Sister Yu will give you a copy of Rich Women's Address Book. Little big brother, don't you feel moved by this? Compared to you fighting alone, the sisters' hearts are not soft? Are they not warm? This opportunity, we only found you in the whole Hypo City. How many men have dreamed of this? Action is worse than heartbeat. Hurry up and join. Chirp me. After Zhou Mu talked to Xinghe incessantly, she also cutely dressed up as a kitten and flirted with Xinghe. Kaziran's big eyes blinked watery. He repeatedly emphasized to him that this is such a precious and once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If he doesn't agree, he will be a big fool. Even if the pie falls from the sky, how could it hit me? This looks like a trap. Where is this Rose Company? This is simply a coiled silk hole for spider spirits. Xinghe wiped the drool from the corner of his mouth, thanking him for his firm will. Faced with such a temptation, he almost couldn't help but agree just now. Fortunately, in the end, rationality defeated lust and regained the high ground of IQ. He stopped his opening in time. After making up your mind, Xinghe took a deep breath and said slowly, sorry, I can't promise you. You actually refused Sister Yu's invitation. Are you still a normal man? Zhou Mu frowned, his tone full of doubts. This kid is indeed the one that Sister Yu likes. In the face of such a temptation, he can stick to his nature. Sure enough, he was different from ordinary smelly men. So she appreciates Xinghe even more. Miss, please don't attack me personally. Of course I'm a man, I just don't want to join your company. Xinghe said seriously. Facing the aggressive Zhou Mu, he had better refuse decisively. But you have to be careful not to be discovered by the other party, and you have already noticed their conspiracy. But if you can't give a valid reason today, I won't let you go. Seeing Xinghe's refusal to enter, Zhou Mu pouted angrily, opened his arms, and stopped at the door of the dormitory. Sister Yu Tong saw Xinghe's noble character, so she invited him. If he refused his invitation, how would he explain to Sister Yu Tong after he went back? Oops! Is this trying to force me? She is a Leave 69 knight, how can I break through her blockade with my small body? Xinghe's heart sank, secretly thinking that things might be going in a bad direction. The other party must not have grasped his real evidence now, otherwise he would not come up and say so much to himself. Since the other party wants a reasonable reason, give it to her yourself. Thinking of this, Xinghe's expression changed. His face began to become sad. He stammered, I don't feel comfortable being with girls. Boom. Hearing Xinghe's answer, a thunder rang in Zhou Mu's mind. It's uncomfortable to be with girls, does that mean you like to be with boys? I really let myself guess right. He is gay. In Zhou Mu's mind at this time, there was a huge storm, and he couldn't accept the fact that Xinghe was gay for a while. Xinghe took advantage of Zhou Mu, who was in a daze. Without talking nonsense, I turned around and went back to put the packed salute into the portable space. When he walked to the door of the dormitory, Xinghe got short and slipped directly under Zhou Mu's arm. When he walked slowly to the stairs, after Zhou Mu couldn't be seen from the corner of his eye, his steps quickened instantly. He pulled out a quick scroll from the portable space. Whoosh! After tearing it apart vigorously, a pair of wings appeared on the ankle, and fled the school in a flash. Hypo City. A building surrounded by red rose plants looks extremely coquettish. This is the headquarters of Rose Company. Zhou Mu took the elevator with a low expression and directly pressed the button leading to the top floor. After reaching the 30th floor of the top floor, she stepped out of the elevator and pushed open the only door on this floor. What came into view was that Yu Tong, with his long black silk legs raised, was staring at the red wine glass with great interest. Mumu, how's it going? Did that kid agree? Yu Tong gently opened his red lips and asked. Sister Yu, I'm sorry. I messed up. Zhou Mu seemed to be asked about pain, and couldn't help sobbing. He didn't agree. There are so many beauties in our company, why isn't he tempted? Yu Tong said in surprise. Also, you don't have to be sad because the mission failed. Tell me quickly, how did he reject you? Yu Tong was not surprised that Xinghe would reject his invitation. She was just trying to attract such an outstanding young man who would not be fooled by beauty. Xinghe was the only professional in the Jade Dragon secret realm who was slightly injured. His strength is self-evident. After they are promoted to the gold power, they are considered excellent fresh blood. However, she was very curious about Xinghe. What reason did she use to reject herself? Zhou Mu pursed his lips and said, he said he was gay. What? Ha ha ha. After hearing Zhou Mu tell Xinghe's reason, Yu Tong was taken aback for a moment, and then burst out laughing. Mu Mu, he rejected you with such a lame reason, how could you believe it? I've seen countless people too. His behavior is definitely not gay as you said. It seems that you, little girl, have been cheated by others. The reason why Yu Tong sent Zhou Mu was to see her serious temperament. What she didn't expect was that Xinghe would actually cheat Zhou Mu. Coincidentally, maybe others won't be fooled. But Zhou Mu, who is pure in heart, will believe no matter what Xinghe says about running the train. What? That brat dared to lie to me. Zhou Mu's eyes widened, and he looked at Yu Tong in disbelief. She couldn't accept that Xinghe would deceive herself, but judging from Yu Tong's expression, it didn't look like a fake. Why on earth? Zhou Mu stomped angrily. His brain exploded from thinking about it, and he couldn't figure out why Xinghe would refuse. Aren't men greedy for money and s**x? Yu Tong said thoughtfully, a young man at the age of enthusiasm. It's a little abnormal to be like this. Billionaires stay in school dormitories and take taxis when they go out. Xinghe is full of weirdness. Let's go to the big conference room for a meeting first. I will check his affairs slowly. Yu Tong drank the red wine in the glass in one gulp, twisted his snake's waist, and approached Zhou Mu in a charming manner. He raised his hand and rubbed Zhou Mu's hair, comforting her. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.